and The Rock in the same ring. Who would have thought they would have ever seen Hogan and The Rock?
This is history making. That it is.
Hulk Hogan, The Rock heard what you were saying in the back. The Rock was listening. And The Rock agrees with you on some things. But let The Rock ask you something. Do you really think that it was the fans? Do you actually think that it was the people that drove you out of the WWF?
What he said.
Is that what you think?
That's exactly
It doesn't matter what you think.
What? Wow. Now that is some serious disrespect right there, JR. Oh.
The only thing that matters is you realize it was not the people that drove you out of the WWF. No. They loved you. They believed in you. And damn it, The Rock believed in you.
Well, it should.
But you know what happened? It was years after years after years. It was years after years of you eating the vitamins, saying the prayers, ripping your t-shirt off, running wild over everyone. What you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild over you?
He blazed the trails.
Oh, The Rock will tell you. The Rock will tell you what the people did. After all that, the people ran. They ran all right. They ran right to the toilet, pulled their pants down, took one big hulk of crap every time you opened your mouth.
What? Man, I can't believe what Rock is saying.
Do you know what? The Rock will say this about you, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. You are, without a shadow of a doubt, a legend. You are, without a shadow of a doubt, an icon. Quite possibly the best ever. And seeing as you are back in the WWF because of Vince McMahon, The Rock has one thing to say. You talked about headlining, main eventing, WrestleMania after WrestleMania after WrestleMania. Well, Hulk Hogan, The Rock says, how do you feel about headlining one more WrestleMania with The Rock?
Oh my God! The Rock has challenged Hogan! He's challenged Hogan for WrestleMania!
Ladies and gentlemen, the following Sit Down Marks podcast is set for one fall. Introducing first, your heel host that is always helping to spread the good word of wrestling, Dirty Bird. Next up, the co-host from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme, editor and producer, Primo. And finally, your co-host, straight out of your mama's kitchen, driver of the grip wagon, straight off a cliff, assistant editor and producer, AJ.
What is going on, everybody? It is episode 54 of the biggest kept secret in wrestling podcast. That's right, the Sit Down Marks podcast, episode number 54. Just 2 out of 3 of your favorite marks today, just me and Primo. What's going on, my man? How you doing today, my brother?
I'm pretty good myself. An episode 54. I can't believe it. We are on the other side of 50. And we are just, our next goal is 100. But you know what? We're definitely going to get there, especially with all these marks listening to us. We can't wait to entertain y'all, even though there's 2 of us. We'll see AJ next week on the anniversary episode.
That's right. We're going to bring you a big episode here today. First of all, I want to thank you to TW Ward there for the awesome introduction, the voice of Memphis Wrestling, giving us that fire introduction there. We sure do appreciate it. Also want to start off by thanking our sponsors, Coastland Apparel. Go to coastlandapparel.com. Use promo code BIRDTV for 15% off your order. Always representing that fire apparel. Primo's got the shirt today. He's rocking it as usual and looking good here. Also, Jet Designs on Facebook. Check him out if you need any type of custom die-cast car made. He is your guy. Go check him out there on Facebook. It's Jet Designs, J-E-T, Jet Designs. Once again, like I said, it's episode number 54 here, and it's going to be a big one here today. I'm Dirty Bird. I want to thank everybody for being here as usual. And I want to thank everybody listening on all the podcast platforms out there, especially Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all those other ones. And if it's Friday, it must be on SportsWire online radio at 6:15, right before the Thomas Bryce Show and throughout the week. And if you like the pod, please do us a favor. Tell a friend. Leave us that great review, man. We really need those reviews to help out the pod on whatever platform you listen from. And also, if you got the time on a Wednesday, man, check us out. We're live every Wednesday on YouTube. So
That's right. We're live, pal.
Yeah, we're live, pal. We do these things so you can see us and come talk with us and chat with us. So, but as usual, man, we, you heard The Rock and the Hogan, the big face-to-face off, man. It always gives me chills. I love that part.
The Hulkster and the Great One.
Yeah. So we're going to be breaking down that match later. So in honor of that match, we leaned for the pop of the pod today. We leaned a little more farther back here for, the famous NWO music that the Hogan came into for his entrance there at Wrestlemania X8. So we all know this one, man, the NWO. For life. Yes, all kind of iterations of the NWO over the years, but overall changed wrestling history right there, man. Yeah, so we'll be talking about that more later. So AJ is not here today, so Primo, man, give us what happened in history and birthdays, brother. Your old job. Go back to your old job.
My old job. Back to my old stomping grounds here. Me. Okay.
I think
this day in wrestling history, that's March 9th for all you marks out there. Today, on 1991 in Montgomery, Alabama, the Steiner brothers, that's Rick and Scott, if you didn't know, defeated Michael Hayes and Jimmy Garvin to win the NWA World Tag Team Championship. The championship would be known soon as the WCW World Tag Team Championship.
A little iteration of the Freebirds there with gorgeous Jimmy Garvin.
That's right, yeah.
He was one of those other guys that had like a valet baby doll that came with, not baby doll, Precious.
Right.
Shoot, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
She'd always spray like hairspray or something up in the air, to fix his hair. Fix my hair. Yeah,
it's like Brandon Cutler's cold spray.
yeah, it was great.
Move forward 10 years, 2001, EC Dub officially cancels Living Dangerously 2001, just 2 days before the show was set to take place, with no television to promote it, no venue booked for the show, and no tickets to sell. The decision came as no surprise. Some cable outlets offered refunds for pay-per-view orders, while others replayed Guilty as Charged. The cancellation combined with ECW owner Paul Heyman appearing on WWF programming at the time, and ECW, not running a show since a few days after Guilty as Charged, signaled the end of ECW.
Well, no venue, no ring, no roof, no tickets,
nothing, man.
No nothing. So no wrestling, man.
Not a pot to piss in. No, nothing.
That's right. Shocker. That's great.
Well, yeah. And moving on, we got wrestling birthdays today on March 9th specifically. 1998. From NXT 2.0, we have Harland.
Harland, yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that hangs out Joe Gacy.
With Joe Gacy, yeah, his henchman, yeah.
Right.
He's scary, dude.
He's some scary
looking dude.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what his gimmick is other than scary. Just a really intimidating psycho looking dude.
Good at it if it is, right?
Right. 1979. Some people, you might have seen it around the Twitterverse today telling her happy birthday. None other than Melina.
Yeah, seen that one day too. Recent Rumble entrant. We saw her come in live. That was a big pop for us.
She can still do the splits.
Still do the splits. That's like, we love it. Crowd loved it. Happy birthday to us.
She got a big pop at the Rumble. Yeah.
She did.
1971. We saw him recently on one of our Sunday Night Heat episodes. Tiger Ali Singh.
Nice. Yeah. Help Kurt Angle have his debut there, didn't he?
Yeah.
He told him to spit on the flag or something like that.
Right.
He did it.
Yeah, he told him, or blow his nose in the flag, I think.
Yeah. Tiger had the gimmick of Americans do anything for money, so he'd bring people in. And
I mean, it's fairly true.
It is. Yeah. I mean, you didn't have to look too far for that gimmick, did it? Right. Under your nose.
1960. Speaking of the Steiner brothers, none other than Rick Steiner himself.
The dog-faced gremlin.
That's right.
Yeah.
And 1959, we have Nikita Koloff.
Oh man, that guy's close to my heart, man. I love me some Nikita Koloff. We're gonna be talking about some of his matches later, man. Like, he had real heat back in the day, as a Russian. This guy was not Russian. He was as Southern as anybody, me. I mean, you know what I mean? And, he had a horrible Russian accent, but they put him with Ivan Koloff, and then later Crusher Khrushchev, who we know as Smash from Demolition,
right.
And then so they had that, that Russian, like faction, that everybody always hated, and, they were mean, and that dude was stout, man. He had his finishing move was called the Russian Sickle, and it was like the JBL clothesline before everybody knew what the JBL clothesline was, right?
The clothesline from hell,
stiff as shit, man. Yeah. He's a preacher now. He can marry you too. He can marry you.
He's
too.
ordained. Okay.
Yes, he can marry you.
We got one last birthday here, and we'll finish this up. 1994. None other than Primo's little brother. Happy birthday, brother!
Oh, KO! Happy birthday, dude!
It's my little brother. My little brother. He's 28. KO is my older brother.
Oh, my bad.
My little brother. No, you're good. My little brother.
Lots of families.
He doesn't look like any wrestlers, so. But happy birthday, bro! And I'll see you. I'll see you in a couple months when I come home.
Happy birthday!
And that is this day in wrestling history and birthdays.
All right, now to your actual job.
Oh yeah, me. Headlines today in wrestling headlines. Nothing like a good old news giggle. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing like a good news giggle.
Bad boy, Sean.
Vince McMahon appeared on the Pat McAfee show last week. It was awesome. Go give it a watch or a listen.
It was riveting, dude.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I can't explain enough. Like, it was weird to me how fascinated I was just listening to this man talk.
Yeah, me too.
Didn't want it to end.
Right. Yeah, same. I listened to it driving back from St. Louis, Anarchy Friday night, man. And that hour and a half that he was on was like, just went by, man, because I was like just so enamored. Listen to him talk about himself, what he liked, what he don't like.
He kind of took off the.
Yeah, he sleeps like 3 hours a day.
Right, he took off the business suit for a second, and just showed us like who he really is. It was really cool to listen to. But also during that interview, he dropped two newsworthy items. Number one is he'll be inducting the Undertaker himself at this year's Hall of Fame.
It's very appropriate. Very appropriate.
And I think the only other person he's inducted was Andre.
Andre, yep.
Yeah.
As far as I remember.
He also gave Pat McAfee the opportunity to wrestle at WrestleMania. Right there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen him before. He, in NXT wrestle, he can go.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a minute, but yeah.
Yeah, he said on the show too. He said it's like 30 days away, and I'm like, if you watch the YouTube video clip, it's even funnier because he's just stretching. He's like, I need to get in the gym like right now, like yesterday.
Yeah.
So moving on via PW Insider, the March 18th episode of AEW Rampage will air at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time due to TNT coverage of college basketball.
So it might even be on even later.
So, no, it'll be 11:30 my time. Yeah, that's right. They did say that, too. If college basketball runs over, just prepare your DVR.
Because the basketball tournament, right. Just run it for about 3 hours past the time slot.
Right.
Should be good.
Speaking of AEW, Fightful reported today that the Redeemer himself, Miro, has signed a contract extension with AEW. So he is saying.
Haven't seen him on TV too much, have we?
No, I'd imagine he's going to come back soon, especially with this new contract.
Yeah.
We mentioned the WWE Hall of Fame. The latest inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame is none other than Vader.
It's time. It's Vader
time. That's right.
Yeah, that we learned he wears a mastodon on his head from Hartenbauer. He taught us. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Vader belongs in. This is a good move.
For sure.
We got to start getting people in when they're live, man.
Yeah, like the Undertaker.
Like start, let's start seeing who's alive first, get them in, and then introduce maybe, one or two that's passed, what I mean? Like people should get their flowers before they die, man, in wrestling. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So
I
it's
agree.
a lot of, it's a lot of bump, man. It's a lot of body wear and tear. And
especially the older guys, it reminds them, all of us still do remember.
Sure.
And stuff like that. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have Becky Lynch. She announced that she suffered a fractured voice box over the weekend in a live event against Bianca Belair. However, with some time off, it should take 2 weeks to recover. She should be good in time for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, she can still wrestle.
I mean, you don't need to talk to wrestles. I mean, I guess you do, but
I mean, they want her to talk, but yeah.
Via Sports Illustrated. This is an interesting one, especially after this past weekend's UFC event. But via Sports Illustrated, Colby Covington would love to cross over to the WWE after his fighting career is over.
Dude's got the chops for it. That's
he's a shit talker.
Dude can talk, man. Yeah. So
I wanted Jorge to knock his block off, but
yep.
Thanks, Jorge.
Yeah, I mean, he could talk. I don't know if I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
He could be entertaining. He's kind of small, but via PW Insider, WWE filed a new trademark for the old WWE scratch logo on March 3rd.
We're going to hit Attitude Era again here?
Yeah, right? Yeah, that'd be cool.
We're
going to go back to the scratch logo?
I don't know. Yeah.
And lastly, the last headline and most important headline of today. As of today, Jeff Hardy is officially a free agent, and I cannot wait to watch him have fun doing what he does best.
And then, hence, too, Matt Hardy put out a tweet today that said he's sorry for taking advantage of everybody, and money and that kind of stuff. It's time to go back to the old Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy's about to be back, so and they also announced the AHFO emergency board meeting scheduled for Dynamite tonight. So the nice. Andrade Hardy family office. Yeah. And that is the headlines for today. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it later, but these shows are getting must-watch, man, especially with these free agents dangling out there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like
anybody can pop up at any time.
Yeah. It's getting really interesting, man. Especially what we've seen happen in AEW. We'll be getting to that here shortly. So, all right. So I want to give a shout out here today on if you want a fan shout out, give us one on Twitter at SitDownMarks. Send us a message and let us know when and where you listen to the podcast, and we will shout you out on the pod. So today I want to shout out everybody in Sterling from this past Saturday night. I'm talking about especially Mark and Andrew, everyone at the Moose Lodge. Super great crowd there. We were there sponsoring the show. We gave away a ton of merch. Everybody was so cool there. It was an awesome, hot crowd. Everybody was into it. It was one of the biggest crowds they've had there in Sterling. So just shout out to everybody there, man, and had such a great time, and looking forward to going back there in the future. And I'm sure AJ will have something to say about it later. So, all right, well, speaking of AJ, it's time for AJ's Movie of the Week.
AJ. today's movie of the week.
All right, welcome to the show. I'm your dirty bird, your host, of course. It's time to talk about what we're going to talk about. We're going to break down AEW Revolution. Me and Primo are here for you. We're going to give our thoughts on that. We're also going to review The Rock versus Hulk Hogan from Wrestlemania X8. And we're going to debate where this match stands in WrestleMania history here. So, and we're going to talk about that as well. And we're not going to have Primo's music class with no AJ, but so we'll be bringing that back later. But we also got a really awesome interview with Bucky Collins as he is back with us to talk about Iron Spirit Pro this Friday night in Normal, Illinois, and much more. So we got a pretty big show lined up here for you. Primo, line us up, man. Let's go.
This is Levi Cooper.
Hey, this is BuckNasty Bucky Collins.
This is Big B.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw, and you're listening to
the Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
All right, let's get this recap started, man. I'm gonna kick it off here. Not a whole lot of shows this weekend, but I just want to go back and talk about the shows that me and AJ attended this weekend, specifically Friday and Saturday night, man. We went to St. Louis Anarchy back at Spalding Hall in East St. Louis. This was the return of ACH. Him and Kenny Alfonso absolutely tore the place down. It's one of the better matches. I think I've probably seen live in quite a long time, man. I might even put it up in the top 10. It was that good. They had us hanging on our the edge of our seats, man. But these guys, the whole locker room really brought it. Kamara Jackson ended up beating Beef. So, Beef's going to be coming back. Sooner or later he's going to put on a streak there. But some other great matches. Jeremy Wyatt, Cody Lane was awesome. We got to talk to Billy Starks that night. She ended up wrestling Victor Analog because she was supposed to wrestle Craig Mitchell, but he was out with injury. But she had they had a great match that night. And then Christian Rose continued his feud with the family. With Moonshine Mantell, and I won't give you some of these winners because they're or all these winners because they're going to be releasing the show here, I think on YouTube starting like tomorrow night or something. But all around great matches. Chip Day, Thomas Shire was good, but holy shit, the main event was Anthony Henry versus Gary J for the Gateway title, man, and like. Everything you call like a stiff match, this was. There was it was some crazy shit going on in this match. Like I can't recommend enough. Like go watch it. Gary J. He had like this like cut in his back, right? This big long like kind of And there was some point in times where they were really getting going at each other pretty hard. And Anthony Henry just like grabs with both hands that like. On his back and that and looks like it almost like rips it off his back, like almost like cartoon style, like it looked like rubber, what I mean, like he was trying to rip it off. But absolutely nuts, man. It was crazy. A great show. Every show at Spalding Hall is great. I can't recommend it enough. They're coming back, I believe, May 6th for the next show. So also wanted to shout out to Primo. We got to give a shout out to our girl, Billy Starks, who was a former guest on the show. We finally got to run into her. We got the pictures made with her. And had I known the weekend she was going to have, like I would have just said, holy cow, girl, like you are like amazing. Like we got to talk to her for a little while. Her and Mouse as well, her dad. We hooked them all up with some merch. And we ended up giving Billy her birthday present we had got for her for a long time, a big WrestleMania 6 banner for her PC there. So, but anyway, we got to talk to her Friday. She wrestled Victor Analog, and then Saturday night she went down to Saudi Daisy 10, and she won the Scenic City Rumble. I believe, is the first woman ever to win it. So she is automatically into the Scenic City Invitational in August. And then it didn't stop there. She got back in the car with Mouse. They drove back up to Chicago Sunday, and she won and she is now the very first second wrestling champion, as she ended up beating Eric Cannon for the title. So Friday in St. Louis, Saturday Tennessee, Sunday in Chicago, and she came away with a belt. Like, wow, man!
What
Congratulations,
a
Billy!
Yeah, congrats to her. We had a great conversation with her. And if anybody wants to go back and listen to that is episode 43. It was a great conversation. We enjoyed having her on. We'd love to have her back eventually. But no, congrats to her. That sounds like a heck of a weekend.
It was. I got to talk to Mouse for a second. Not very long, but in the minute I did get to, I told him, I said, look, man, I said, hey, thanks for, driving her all around everywhere for all the miles, and then to see what she did this weekend after I seen them on Friday really makes this all worth it, man. And I know it does for them. So congratulations to them. Like, holy cow. Like, I think she said, like, when she's like 28, she's going to be like a 10-year veteran or like something crazy. No, like 15-year veteran. Like, it's
right. So
yeah, nuts.
So she does all this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then she has school Monday.
Apparently, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I bet she has to listen to all the other teenagers bitch about how their weekend went.
Right. I mean, we got to talk to her after her match, and she did look tired. And we got to talk to her, and she's just a super cool kid. And she's just she's doing so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just great. So I want to say congrats to her and
really
Mouse.
awesome.
So yeah. And then let's flip the script to Saturday night. Me and AJ headed up to Northwest Illinois to a town called Sterling, Illinois for Zawa's show back there called The Great Gig in the Sky. This show just got released, I believe, on IWTV, so you can go check that out now. Just some quick matches there. I got to talk to Country Air while I was there, a great tag team in the Midwest. Cool guys. They wrestled Killer Instinct to lead off the show. We had Geeks and Freaks wrestled the Beanards. Now they're not the Killer Bees, they're the Beanards.
The Beanards.
Yeah. So our guy Havens wrestled Cole, and then and probably one of the best debut matches I've probably ever seen, especially live. These two guys wrestled each other. Everett Benton and Ty Montgomery. This was their first match together, and they tore it down. Ty did some sneaky stuff at the end. I won't ruin it. So go check it out on IWTV. But also Hartenbauer was there. He was in a tag team with Judd, and they wrestled Pregel and Berna. And then a really cool funny spot of the night, had the whole crowd going crazy. It was Bailey Bright Appreciation Night. It's all over Twitter right now. Apparently he had this $10,000 cake that ended up in his face. So so go check that out. And then I also want to thank Zawa as well. They let AJ and we was able to call the Jay Fowler versus Bo Gott match. So if anything, go check out how bad of announcer
was there any gumption this weekend?
Oh, there was some gumption. Yeah, there was definitely some gumption used. And he definitely set us up to use that one. So for sure. So go check out that card, man. It's going to be awesome. I think next time we're slated to be back at a Zawa show is going to be April the 23rd in Dixon. It's their 5-year anniversary show. We'll be back to that one. But then also, they're running a couple more shows, and they're going to be in Dallas for WrestleMania weekend. They got a show called for Guavamania 2. It's going to be at a place called Cover All Bases, and it's a baseball facility, actually. So they're running a show there. So if you're around there April 1st, check out that show. So, all right, last one, the Independence show this weekend. We're going to be talking about it with Bucky later. Friday, March 11th, just a few days from now. AJ and I go back to work. It's at the Normal Community Center, 1110 Douglas Street in Normal, Illinois. It's a big show. This one got postponed from January because of COVID. So we're back running again in Normal. The champion Brew Baker is defending the title against Dion Roosman. We got Stephen Wolf versus Hartenbauer. Bucky versus Dante Leon. We'll be talking about that later too. And then a couple other matches that I can't wait to see. Connolly versus Storm Grayson. Solomon Tupu, who is debuting, is wrestling the hometown guy, CJ Esparza, and then also the Bang Brothers and the Lowlifes. This is going to be a really good card. So we'll be talking about that here. Yeah, Bang Brothers.
The Bang Bros, man.
The Bang Bros, the energy drink Bang Bros is what they claim, but I'm sure there's some crossover. Yeah, and that's why the announcer always says, "Don't Google their name."
Yeah, that's right. Don't do that.
Yeah, because that's what you'll come up with. So
not that I don't. Yeah.
Not that we know anything about
exactly.
or a black couch.
Moving on.
Yeah, let's move on. Okay. All right, so let's do these. Let's get to this AEW recap here. So, all right, so since AJ's here, I'm going to take over here with AEW Primo. So we're going to start off with Dynamite as usual. Now, this is all leading up to AEW Revolution, which was this past Sunday. But big bombs being dropped right off the bat here for this Dynamite show. Tony Khan opens up the show right off the bat, drops a bomb, and says that he has bought Ring of Honor, including the library. He announces right off. Yeah, I mean, right off the bat.
Immediately. And that's like, he might have said that about an hour after I had just said in the headlines on our show that Fightful was saying that Ring of Honor was still for sale.
Yeah.
And he came out and said that. It's crazy.
Apparently there was a bidding war and he was the highest bidder.
Yeah. I mean.
So he says that right off the bat. And then jumps right into our Ring of Honor hearts and gives us a Bryan Danielson versus Christopher Daniels match, which was awesome. Christopher Daniels
was fire.
Dude's fucking 51, still killing it.
Fallen angel.
Yeah. And they started with the handshake, a la Ring of Honor.
Right.
You start and end, with the handshake. But clinic of a match. Daniels, like I said, is 51, working like he's 21. Danielson wins, making, he made Daniels pass out. Held on a little bit too long there at the end. Attacks Daniels, and then
because he goes to go do the honor at the end and shake his hand. He says, "We shake hands right at the end in Ring of Honor," but then he says, "Not anymore."
I'm in AEW now.
Yeah, I'm in AEW
now. Yeah, so starts beating his ass. Of course, that cues up Wild Thing. Here comes Moxley. He shows up. Daniel Bryan retreats, adding to their storyline of their match coming up. So next up, we got the Young Bucks winning a 15-team casino tag team battle royal that I really enjoyed, man. I liked it a lot, and I thought it was a really good display for a lot of tag teams. So kind of see who they have too. You know what I mean? Like kind of see who's you're like, oh yeah, because we've seen Griff come back and those guys like that. So yeah, so that was interesting. And then Rosa and Britt have a match. I think tag team match. They get more heat. Rosa ends up pinning a Britt here, going out on top. And then later on we get Jericho and Eddie Kingston promos. They cut on each other, and Jericho tells Eddie that he will respect him if Eddie beats him. But will he?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. All right, and then more heat, more building up Wardlow here. He squashes Cesar Bonatti and then stops Sean Spears from hitting Bonatti with a chair. A little bit later on, they go back to a backstage, and they're kind of questioning Wardlow, and and says, I think he says something around, like, why is he losing all the time? He says he's too busy, helping him win.
That's right. Yeah.
When Wardlow talks, it's always kind of funny now because we don't hear him talk so much, but yeah. And then MJF basically reminds him that, you don't work for AEW, you work for me. And then, slaps the fucking shit out of him. It's a pretty damn hard slap, man. Pretty much told him to lay it in there. So he walks off, leading on to that storyline. So we get to the main event for Dynamite. Adam Cole, baby!
Baby! Yeah, I got you queued up for that.
There you go. Adam Cole, baby! Versus Red Dragon. I'm sorry, with Red Dragon, Riley and Fish. Versus Adam Hangman, baby! With the Dark Order's Silver and Reynolds. Fun match, but Cole and Red Dragon end up pulling out the victory here. I believe. I believe Reynolds ended up taking the pin. So, all right. So, big thing of the night here, Punk and MJF, right? So, Punk comes out further in the storyline here. Punk comes out with the brightest white T-shirt he ever seen the man. Brightest white T-shirt ever seen the man. So, automatically jumps in my brain, colors coming. Right, yeah. So he calls out MJF about if he was serious about last week, about, being bullied during this time, when they showed him with the picture with CM Punk from whenever he was little. He told MJF it was the greatest day of his life. Punk said it was just Friday or whatever it was to him,
It was Friday.
So he was asking if he was, telling the truth about being bullied. So MJF comes out looking sad in a super white suit as well. Don't they know good, look, good guys wear white. Another, little moniker we're looking at here too. So, Punk puts his hands out to try to like, so-called squash, this stuff with MJF and MJF hugs him instead of a handshake.
Hug it out.
Yeah. And then, backs up, only to give him the low blow, kick him in the nuts.
So when they're hugging, you know how MJF is kind of like nuzzling his neck there?
Sure.
He's telling him, all right, this is looking good. Everybody sees it. All right, I'm going to step back and kick you in the balls now. You ready?
Yeah. Right, yeah. Brace yourself. Yep. And then so MJF and the Pinnacle attack Punk, who is basically bloodied and beaten up. Gets a lot of color here ahead of their dog collar match. They got the dog collar around Punk's neck. Spears is pulling on it while, Punk
they're basically hanging him.
Bleeding profusely. Yeah. And then MJF's telling him on the mic, he's like, don't you know I'm a snake? Well, he says something about the devil. The biggest mistake the devil ever made is
he says is an exact promo that CM Punk gave in Ring of Honor.
Exactly. Yep. A long time ago. So they're touching on a lot of old stuff here. So this heads up, putting more stuff on the match heading up to Revolution. So, all right. So that's it for Dynamite. Let's head on up to Rampage. So just a couple notes here I have for Rampage, just basically just leading up to Revolution. Keith Lee he ended up beating J.D. Drake, which J.D. Drake went to Shelby High School around the same time as I did, and Shelby always kicked our butt in football. So whenever I see him, sometimes I always like to talk about that, about how they used to kick our butt in football in high school. But anyway, so moving on next, Sammy Guevara retained the title versus
Spanish
Darby
God
Allin and Andrade
El Idolo.
And then we got the return of Hikaru Shida, who returned to attack Serena Deeb during that 5-minute horseshit challenge. Has been boring everybody to death lately. I mean, I get it, the technical, all that kind of stuff. I get all that stuff, but after a while it's boring. But anyway, all right. So for a spot in the Revolution ladder match, Christian beats Ethan Page, which I kind of seen this coming. This was a good match, so I'm a big fan of Ethan Page. So, all right. So that's it for Dynamite and Rampage.
I mean, why not, right? Put one of the masters of the ladder match in there.
Right. Yeah. And so it should be a really awesome match there at Revolution. But I really liked how they've really put a lot of thought in this MJF Punk feud. You know what I'm saying? Like they're really touching on.
I was invested. I mean, I still am, but it's good, dude.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, so we get to Revolution, which was held Sunday night, Orlando, Florida. Pre-show told me that Layla Hirsch beat Chris Statlander, which I read online had quite a few botches in it, but didn't come off very well. Yeah, and then Hook beat QT Marshall by the Red Rum submission there in the pre-show. So, all right, so
you could say they send Hook. They sent Hook in the buy-in, as they call it. at
in the
pre-show.
buy-in. Yep, definitely gets. It looks like they're. I read something too where they're like getting really good ratings on Rampages when he's on them. So they're probably going to be keeping him on him for a while.
Yeah.
So
it's business.
All right, so here we go. Revolution here. Let's run down on some matches. We got House of Black, Buddy Matthews, Brody King, and Malachi Black versus Penta El Scuro, Pac, and the debuting Redbeard. What do you think about
Eric
Redbeard,
dude? Yeah,
he's old Wyatt family member.
That's right.
Yeah, I think he fits in pretty good here.
I think he'd be better suited on the House of Black. But I think he's cool though. I do think it's cool to see him. I just think his look, everything about him, he'd be great on House of Black or something like that. Yeah,
he's got the look, tattoos, all that stuff. Like he looks like he would definitely fit. But anyway, House of Black wins, and Redbeard lost he took a pile driver from Brody. So that's how that one finishes up. So pretty good match there. Like, I enjoyed it. I always like to see, somebody come back that hasn't, I haven't seen wrestle in a while, so that's always nice. So, all right, next up, let's get to this Eddie Kingston Jericho match. We just talked about it. Jericho said he will respect Eddie if he wins. This was a pretty cool match. Eddie jumped on him in the beginning. It was really good. Like, I loved how it was all laid out. You could tell Jericho had his hand on this match.
Storytelling
for sure, man. I loved it. Eddie ends up winning by a barrage of backhanded fists and then a stretch plum for the tap from Jericho.
That's right.
And then to kind of keep it going, man, like I was shocked, loved it that Eddie won. Like, just like we talked about, like Eddie needs to go over here. Jericho's just best in wrestling, man.
Right.
And then I love the refusing to shake his hand.
Right. It furthers that a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read somewhere he's going to address that tonight, actually.
Yeah. Good
on
stuff,
on Dynamite.
Man. Yeah. And gave Eddie the rub. You can tell Eddie when Eddie's motivated, and he was, you're wrestling Jericho on a pay-per-view. Like,
hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. He brought it, man. I love to see it, man. It's awesome.
It was great.
Love it. All right, so next up was the AEW Tag Team Titles match.
Tag Team player.
Red Dragon versus Young Bucks versus the champs, the Jurassic Express. That's right. Kind of what I thought would happen. Express retained in a pretty good match. Featured an imminent Red Dragon Bucks fallout.
Right. Yeah, we talked about it last week. Before the Bucks were made into the triple threat. Right. At the time, we were saying how we thought it could be Red Dragon. But once they added the Bucks in there, I saw that too.
Yeah. And I thought it was still a little bit early to take the titles off Jurassic Express. So I'd really like to see them go back to FTR. But, like the Bucks and FTR don't need them. But at this point, like I feel, or the Bucks FTR feud wouldn't need the belts, is what I'm saying. But at this point, like we've already seen it, kind of like when they debuted and all that kind of stuff. Like I don't know, like it would make more sense to me. But Red Dragon, Bucks, I'm excited to watch that too because these guys know each other so very well. Next up, we got the Revolution ladder match: Primo, Keith Lee versus Orange Cassidy. Versus the Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ricky Starks.
That's right. Ricky Starks for that entrance.
Versus Wardlow versus Christian Cage. Christian. All right. Crazy match as expected, right? It's always interesting because there's so much shit going on. Danhausen ended up showing up. But, all kind of spots.
It's the most random shit ever.
It was, man. Yeah. Just random shit ever. I guess that's kind of what we love about it, I guess.
It was good. I liked it. I also liked how, they made it they got rid of Hobbs and Keith Lee properly.
Sure.
So that way they took care of the thought in your head of, well, Hobbs and Keith Lee are a legitimate threat. So,
right.
They took care of that. I like that they did that.
Yeah, me too. I like it too. A lot of people online are crazy or like going nuts because everybody wants Keith Lee in like the main picture already, But I'm like,
this was cool.
This is perfect. It's perfect. Yeah. All right. So especially when we find out what ended up happening at the end. So all right. So the ending was Wardlow winning because he powerbombed Ricky Starks from one ladder to another. And grab the. Oh my God! I know. Like it still hurts now. Like I heard looking at you hurting. Like about it. Like, oh God, man. Like Ricky took a hard bump.
He folded him.
Oh God. Wardlow ended up winning the brass ring, so I think now he gets a shot at the TNT title. Is that what they're doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because MJF told him that if he ended up winning the match, and he goes,
"I'll even let you keep your title."
Yeah, I'll even let you keep the title if you win it. So so that's the story going there. So very good, very good.
Now, here's my question about that though. Like, what do you think about that brass donut ring?
I mean, it looks
I get the brass ring thing, right?
Toy.
But it just that's what it looks like. It looks like a taped up pool noodle. Spray painted.
Yeah, it looks like whoever reaches up there and grabs it, like everybody else in the match has to run down there and stand. They try to toss it over like ring
like
toss
a bunch of bottles.
Head. Yeah, right. Yeah, like ring toss. Yeah. Seems like you could come up with something else, but I mean, I get the idea. Brass ring, blah blah.
Yeah, whatever, somebody that in the R&D department might want to.
Yeah. All right. So Jade Cargill defeated Tay Conti to retain the TBS championship in a short but furious match. I thought Jade looked good here. She's getting better. I like her a little more. All right. So let's get to this CM Punk versus MJF in a junkyard dog, not a junkyard dog, but a dog collar match.
Dog.
All right. So CM Punk's music hits. Crowd goes nuts. They cut it off. MJF's music comes on. He comes out instead. Mm-hmm. And so MJF comes out, does his, walk to the ring. So it was like a remix happened all of a sudden. Lights go out. Punk's music comes on. And if you watch Punk in Ring of Honor, this song. It was, what they call it, Miseria Cantor.
Yeah, by AFI.
By AFI, yep. And, and I knew this song before I knew who AFI was for a long time back in the day. So this come out, Punk stepping back in the old era. He's got the basketball shorts on. He's looking like indie worker Punk. You know
That's
what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And,
the black jacket with the 3 X's.
Man, it was awesome, man. It was really
I was
great.
hyped. I was losing my shit.
Yeah, man. Like this is the kind of stuff us marks live and die for in wrestling.
Right.
Is this kind of shit that brings us back into nostalgia way. But it was great, man. All right, so methodical, slow start to the match, which was great. That's what happens in bull rope matches. You know what I mean? Or dog collar matches, sorry. Bull rope, dog collar, kind of eventually same thing, really. But eventually throughout the match, MJF calls for Wardlow to bring his diamond ring out. Wardlow acts like he can't find it.
That was great.
Yeah, and then which gives Punk just enough time to grab MJF, hit him with the GTS, and then as he hits him with the GTS and he's laid there, Wardlow all of a sudden finds the ring.
He's like, oh, there it is.
He's like, oh,
right,
there it is.
Pocket. That was the one.
Yeah, so he lays it up on the apron. Punks grabs it, hits MJF with it again to get the 1-2-3 victory.
The old face turn.
Yeah. So, exactly. Yeah, and I know but this match, it was methodically slow to start because they still told the stories. MJF talked to him throughout the match, all this kind of stuff leading up to it. So, to this, it's made sense to give Punk the victory because it seems like they're going to be leaning on MJF Wardlow now. Dynamite and Rampage this week's going to be good, really. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So,
there's going to be a bunch of stories that we're wrapping up or seeing coming up.
Yeah.
I think, like I said last week, that makes them technically 1-1, 2-1 if you go by MJF's count. But either way, they have to have a rubber match now, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they do. They could always bank it and save it for bigger.
Yeah.
Especially
he could be beaten and battered, and now he's pissed off at Wardlow. So
yeah.
distraction.
If somebody attacks Punk, or if he starts a new feud with somebody or somebody else, you know what I mean? Like this week, then I bet they put it in the tank for a while and let MJF go with if the Wardlow feud wasn't going to be so hot. I mean, that's the only reason you really leave that Punk one, really, because this one's going to be, way much better. And, if it ends up being something, going on with the title too. So I'm interested to see where they're going to go. So
there's all kinds of directions they can go, and I'm excited about all of them.
It's good stuff. So a match I was kind of disappointed in. Britt Baker, not disappointed in the outcome, just kind of how it ended, especially with last way Dynamite went off was Britt Baker. She defeated Thunder Rosa. She retained the AEW title there, so not a whole lot there.
I mean, I wanted Thunder Rosa to go over, but, I'd imagine whenever they go to San Antonio, she'll probably go over.
Yeah. All right, let's get to Mox and Danielson here. You got your classic striker versus wrestler. Mox, says, he's not going to be a tag partner with anybody until he bleeds with them. So they're going to get in a fight here. And this was what we all thought it would happen, kind of slow, but picked up when Mox was later on when we got a little more striking than the wrestling and stuff that, but I mean, it's very interesting because, I mean, they could have went, really any way with it. But Mox was able to get the pin, rolling Brian over to get his shoulders on the mat when they were going kind of through a little bit of chain wrestling, kind of caught him a little bit off the bat. Yeah. So from a chokehold, I believe it was, he kind of, put him in the pin. Yeah. And then so, to kind of even make it even more interesting, the fight post-match between the two ended up happening.
They're brawling, right?
Yeah, because Danielson was pissed, right? He wasn't happy.
Yeah.
So they're brawling, right? They're brawling, and then out of nowhere, like nobody's seen this coming. I didn't see a hint of anything of this.
This was dope.
Yeah, it was dope. William Regal shows up, tells him, jumps in between them, tells them basically both of them to shake hands. And just kind of adds to a funny part of their storyline, like
right. Well, because he's like their wrestling daddy.
Yeah, he's like their wrestling daddy. Yeah, and it was like he trained them, and now they're fighting each other, and he showed back up.
They both have a deep history with Regal.
Yeah, they do. So yeah, this was cool. Nice little touch there with Regal, man. That's good stuff.
I thought that was sweet. And Regal came in looking like a badass. He slapped the shit out of Mox. Then he headbutted him, got a little bit of blood on him.
Yeah.
And then Danielson was laughing about it, and then he smacked the shit out of Danielson.
Yeah, too, man. Yeah. Yeah, this was great, man. It's a nice little touch here. So we'll see. They're going to end up as a tag team, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they're going to be together on Rampage or Dynamite tonight.
Yeah. All right, so next up we got Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Sting, the faces against AHFO, better known as Matt Hardy's clan here. But crazy right off the bat here because Sammy gets Isaiah Cassidy in a Spanish fly. Are they like on top of the crowd, kind of? Like, I think they are, or maybe like a part of the side of the stage. But anyway, they do a Spanish fly onto two tables that set up on the entrance ramp. Mm-hmm. And I'm Spanish fly is like my favorite move ever. So
it's so beautiful.
I popped, man. I was like, that is great.
Fly. Yeah.
And any kind of new iteration I haven't seen of it before, like makes me go nuts even better.
Right.
Like, like I haven't seen it before. Oh, that's great. You know what I mean? Like I love the creativity of it. So so that happens right off the bat. And then at one point, Sting, God dang, man.
62 years old, man.
Yes. This guy is doing like a New Jack, like stage dive
off of the freaking
like the concourse, like over the ramp.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like where the basketball players walk.
I watched that clip so many times since then. That was a jump.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he jumped onto Andrade onto 3 tables.
He had a gap to close there.
Yeah, he had a gap to close. Yeah. And he, I mean, he hit it perfectly, man. Right through it. Like, God, like these young guys are inspiring Sting, man.
Right.
They're like, he's drinking that juice, dude.
Right. You guys are like, holy shit, we don't got any excuses.
No shit, man. But yeah, the good guys win there, man. Faces go over. So, all right, man, let's get to this main event. I don't believe I missed anything there. So, main event, we got the Adams family match. Yep. Adam Page, the champion, right?
El champion.
Versus Adam Cole.
Adam Cole!
For the AEW World title. I think they took out heavyweight. Action-packed match, really. I mean, it was an Adam Cole match.
Oh yeah,
and it was good stuff, man. You're never going to get a bad Cole match. Yeah, they can go. You can tell these guys knew each other well. It was good stuff, man. And then of course, Red Dragon shows up. Adam Page kicks. I'm sorry, excuse me, I was swallowing. Adam Page is basically kicking out of all of Adam Cole's stuff, the Panama Sunrise, all his little his trick DDTs off the ropes, that kind of stuff. He's trying for these pins. Adam Page is basically kicking out of all of them. The crowd's like starting to get up, trying to get up, and then he eats a few super kicks from Adam Cole. Shenanigans with Red Dragon outside, yeah. And then, so finally, he hits him with the buckshot lariat. And then I think he gets pulled out of the ring, whatever. Anyway, second buckshot lariat does the trick on Adam Cole, and Adam Page retains in a pretty great main event for a really great pay-per-view card.
All around solid pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, worth the money. Definitely awesome. Like, yeah, this was good. I mean, it was action-packed, man. And I looked at all those matches, and I'm like, wow, it's going to be a long card. But I was
invested. I'll tell you what, long, yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I like I said, I was texting you guys. I was watching it live. Yeah. I was mind blown. Seemed like every 5 minutes, but man, that sucker was long. It was like, because I'm on Eastern time, so that was dang near midnight.
Yeah,
on a work night.
Yeah, it was long, man. This was good. Honestly, like, we talk about it. It makes it more important, how they space out their pay-per-views more. But I wish they'd have them maybe just a little bit more. Maybe have add maybe 1 or 2 throughout the year. But man, like, when they do have them, they give us this. And
think about it. This is, I was looking at their poster the other day.
Right.
1 year ago, right? 1 year ago, if you would have saw this poster that has CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, freaking Keith Lee, and some of these other guys, Christian, so it's like, and all these other great matches, Jericho versus Kingston. It's just like, this card was stacked.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it was great, man. It was great. Who we see now is you think Page will continue to feud with Cole, or you think he'll move on to something else here?
I do think that there will be a new challenger that steps up. Okay. I think that the Adam Cole, did you notice that how the Adam Cole storyline with him? It was there, but it wasn't as present as like the Bryan Danielson storyline, excuse me. Yeah. Or even the Kenny Omega storyline. Like it wasn't the star of the show.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
So it seemed like it was almost like a filler until we get the next contender.
Yeah, true.
Which I love Adam Cole.
Right,
but that's what it made me feel like.
He's got to be those guys that he's got to beat to
right. Yeah.
To make him a higher stature of a champion. So yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, Primo, let us know what happened in WWE last week, brother.
Little double as they say. That's what we say here, actually. We're the only ones that say that. Smacking it down, baby. only a couple things happened, and by a couple I mean two. That's a couple. Austin Theory confronted Pat McAfee and informed him that he is indeed his WrestleMania opponent.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
solid.
It's kind of a toss up. Like who wins that?
Austin Theory.
It's gonna be good stuff. Right. Should
for real though. Like it. I think that was a good choice.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to. Not to dog Austin Theory because he is definitely a blue chip prospect, but
sure. You didn't want to see him put in a big match yet.
I didn't want to see Pat McAfee go against some big superstar that could be doing amazing things elsewhere.
Gotcha.
And then secondly on SmackDown last week, Sami Zayn had his Intercontinental Championship match and said he is welcoming all challengers. This week, his challenger was Ricochet for his Intercontinental Championship.
Yep.
And,
did he win?
Well, there was an interference distraction by none other than the jackass of jackassery himself, Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
And Ricochet is the new
Yes.
So Sami Zayn had a 2-week title reign.
Right, yeah.
But now we know that Sami Zayn or Johnny Knoxville is not going to win that title.
Right. Yeah, so they'll still have the match then. It just won't be for the title. So
right.
All right, just in case you're wondering, people, the Intercontinental Champion of the world is from Paducah, Kentucky.
He
just
sure
so
is.
you know. Yep. Yeah, he's from Paducah, Kentucky.
That's
the
right.
Intercontinental Champion of the world. It's great, man. I hope he gets a
old
sign next to the interstate.
Ricochet, Prince Puma.
Yep. It's like down at the tip of Kentucky, like close to southern Illinois. It's right close to Metropolis, where Superman lives. They do the Superman Festival every year. Yeah, it's close to there.
Superman still lives there?
Yeah, there's a
Is
big,
he retired?
huge, like 50-foot statue of that dude.
Jesus.
He's immortalized.
Let me tell you something, brother. Back. That's it for SmackDown. Smacking it down, baby. Moving on.
Wait. Did you see Ronda's new gear? By the way, it says "Hot Mama" on it. You see that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of Hot Rod, it's Hot Mama.
Hot Mama. Yeah.
Yeah. I just. Not that it's not important. They're just doing the same shit every week.
Oh yeah.
With Ronda and Charlotte and Sonya.
Yeah.
So,
it's filler until it's sidestep until we get there.
Yeah. So on to Raw to open up I counted and looked at the timer on my DVR. To open up the first 45 minutes of the show, RK Bro successfully captures the Raw Tag titles for the second time. Your new Tag Team Title Championships.
What up, bro?
Well, yeah, exactly. Go to RK Bro. What up, bro? So, which that's pretty cool. They defeated Alpha Academy and Rollins and KO. Rollins and KO, they thought that was going to be their shot to go to WrestleMania. However, those hopes are now dwindled. Now you got Alpha Academy. They're probably going to be vying for a rematch. And also Street Profits are sniffing in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But for sure, RK Bro will be at WrestleMania.
Yeah, glad to see them back with the titles. That's fun.
Oh, for sure. Two-time.
I
thank you.
I thank you.
I do still
don't
love
boo education. It's gross.
I love it so much. He's hilarious. Next up, we did have a Raw debut. Yeah, shush.
Yeah.
A Raw debut. It wasn't Veer.
Oh, still.
It was none other than
main event. Just not
the
Raw.
NXT champion Braun Breaker made his Raw debut, tagging with Tommaso Ciampa as they took on the Dirty Dogs, baby.
Nice.
Then
singlet tag team.
That's right. That's the what I call them last week, the muscle bound singlets.
Yeah.
Next up, we had Edge going full heel. He goes full heel, doesn't allow the crowd the satisfaction of his entrance. He did the old Batista move there.
Yep.
He cuts a promo on AJ Styles, basically says that he did what he did last week so that he can get the best version of AJ Styles, that pit bull that's inside of AJ. And in the process, he's awoken something inside himself, the rated R superstar that he loves. So he was coming out all
on this day,
dark and sinister.
Mean Edge is back. Just that mean Edge.
I love all iterations of Edge, and this is one of them. And lastly, just when we think we're gonna go off the air of this 3-hour Raw extravaganza, Kevin Owens comes out. He's like, so his gears are turning. You know, he didn't win that tag match, so he not tag team champion, so he's not going to WrestleMania. But he has been shitting all over my home state for the better part of a month. So he issues a challenge to have the biggest KO show in history at WrestleMania. He wants to have the biggest guest ever. He says, not you, JBL, not you, Booker T, not you, HBK, who is Mr. WrestleMania to you, sir. And he calls out none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin.
What?
Here you go, boys and girls. Take a quick listen for me.
What?
And look, I could embarrass any of these guys easily, but I have the perfect guest in mind. Someone who embodies the state of Texas like no one else, because just like the state of Texas, he is a broken down shell of his former self, living on past glory. Look, we haven't seen this guy in a while, and I bet since then he's let himself go. He's probably drinking beer all day, all night, like the redneck he is. His knees are so shot that when he was in WWE, he needed to wear knee braces just to get through his matches. So if he accepts my invitation, what's he gonna need now to get down that ramp? A walker? It's a long ramp. Look, nothing would make me happier than to beat the hell out of this guy in his home state at WrestleMania and give him a stunner the world would talk about for years. And then pour a nice cold glass of milk over his lifeless body. I know you're watching, and I don't think you have the guts to show up. But the bottom line is I am calling you out. Stone Cold Steve Austin!
19 years ago, I wrestled my last match in a WWE ring. After 3 rock bottoms, 1, 2, 3, I lost the match. And for 19 years, I've had to live with that defeat, knowing my time was up. Kevin Owens, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for waking something up deep inside me that I've kept buried for 19 years. Ever since you started running that damn mealy mouth of yours talking about the state of Texas, the great state of Texas, you got my attention. And why would you want to do that, Kevin? I can think of 2 reasons. 1, you are one dumb son of a bitch. And 2, you are fixing to get your ass kicked by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Whether you want to call this a KO show, a match, a fight, a brawl, whatever, I will guarantee you this. In Dallas, Texas, where I started my career at WrestleMania, Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to open up one last can of whoop ass on you, Kevin Owens. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Let me tell you, dude. What? Like, come on. What? I mean,
what?
Exactly. I am so... I
know, right? I mean, it gets you more hype for it. That was a great promo by Austin.
Still has it. Still got it, dude.
Yeah.
That's right, KO. You running your mealy mouth.
Oh, no. Now my boy's going to have to take stunners, man.
That's right. You got to be one dumb son of a bitch.
Yep.
I loved it, dude. First of all, as a big fan of Kevin Owens, and Also, the fact he looks like
I wonder what
my
they
brother.
do with Seth now. What do you think?
Yeah, that's actually a
Stone Cold
a shoot, like a story that is going around the interwebs. What was it, 6 or however many years ago? Was it last time they were in Dallas? He wasn't there either. Seth Rollins
was on the card.
Yeah, that was the year he was hurt, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
well,
but
I mean,
still,
I was at that Mania, so yeah.
So they could play on that, or he could find a match,
Throw
or
a ladder match
it could
or something.
be the son of a plumber coming in. Some people,
yeah, that's true.
Some people are saying that Cody Rhodes could be his opponent.
That would be good too, man. Seth can work anybody. So yeah. Now, I want that now. I'll take that. Cody and Seth, yeah, I like that.
So yeah, but yeah, man, I'm just excited. I don't care what happens. I don't care if Stone Cold comes in, throws him a couple middle fingers and sums him real quick.
Yeah,
something
you can't
like
have
that.
a Mania in Texas without
Stone
Cold.
Hell yeah!
Yo,
I'm excited, dude.
Oh,
I try to not speak as I'm being a hypocrite right now too, because I talk about not bringing all the old people back, but Stone Cold's like my number one guy. Every guy, everybody loves Stone Cold.
Sure,
he's one of the gods of Texas. So
definitely.
All right, moving on to NXT. Last night's NXT was NXT Roadblock. It's your basically a roadblock before they get to Stand and Deliver in Dallas. Couple notes here. Dakota Kai and Wendy Chu is going against Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray because those two teams have made it into the women's final of the Dusty Cup for the tag team Dusty Cup for the women's. Second note is
not interested in that anymore. They lost.
Yeah. Like I to be honest, I wasn't really interested at all in the beginning, but I decided I'd finally cover it a little bit. So, the LA Knight and Grayson Waller,
Grayson Waller
fought to settle their feud in a last man standing match.
This was pretty good.
It was pretty good. And Grayson Waller, he won with a screwy finish there at the end.
Yeah.
He just held on to the dude, and that dude stood up.
Yeah.
But man, last man standing match. You don't see those too often anymore.
You don't.
Then you had the main event, the triple threat match for the NXT Championship between Braun Breaker, Tommaso Ciampa, and Dolph Ziggler.
Ziggy.
Good match. Good triple threat.
Yeah, this is good stuff here.
Yeah. Had a little bit of dirty dog interference there by the Glorious One.
Yep, he showed up. Was on
and
next to the ring. And
new NXT champion Dolph Ziggler. Man, I was hyped. I gotta be honest. I was excited. I'd like to see that. And I wrote down here, I said, he did what he said he was going to do. He took the title when he wanted to.
Yeah, I like any title on Dolph, honestly, just because.
Yeah, man.
He's great, man. Greatest sellers ever. What are they doing here? Are they going to transition to somebody else and Braun's getting the call up? Maybe going to be in a Mania match. Or you think they're just playing? Or you think they're going to have a Mania match and Braun's going to win it back at Mania?
Yes, I think it's a good way for Dolph to be kind of a mentor and go into a program with Dolph and they can teach him some things.
Totally, I like it. Yep.
I think it's way too early for him to come up like officially. On the
I think so too, man. But I mean, you
never know. He's
never know.
He's making money right now. He's for the WWE, so.
I did like the Chase University spot in NXT too. Like, Chase is starting to curse at the students, and it's getting really funny. Like, it's starting to get really funny. So that's
the only one that had his back was Bodie.
Yeah, that's a good spot. On the show every week.
And that's WWE recap. That's all we had this week.
Okay, moving on. Let's get to Impact. I got some go home Impact show wrestling recap for you. and then I'm gonna give you the results of Sacrifice. So we were leading up to Sacrifice, which was this past Saturday night. This was the Impact Go Home show the Thursday before. Basically, this whole episode was Ring of Honor versus Impact to lead up to the show. They basically just took one person from this faction, one person from that faction. You guys wrestle, and to help put heat on what's going on at Sacrifice. So, and then the other couple things that happened, Chelsea Green versus Tasha Steelz. Winner would get a shot at Mickie James.
Mickie James, baby.
Hardcore country.
Hardcore country.
That's right.
So, yeah, Mickie James.
Hit me one more time.
Hardcore country.
Hardcore country. I need to do one of me just doing it and press the button. All right, last one. That's it.
Love it. All right, so the winner of the match gets a shot at Mickie for the Impact Knockouts Championship. Tasha wins, of course, as expected, by shenanigans. So this match is added to Sacrifice. Chelsea is very disappointed. They had this storyline going where she wanted to wrestle her friend Mickie for the title. Yada yada. So did not come to fruition. So
tough titty.
Tasha will wrestle her Saturday. Tough titty.
Not the way it works.
Speaking of titties, time to bounce to the main event. So we got the Bullet Club versus Violent by Design versus the Gorillas of Destiny. We got a big, huge, schmozzy,
So you're talking about Luke Gallows' titties.
Yes, big fuckery to start off the match. Huge brawl. Bullet Club ends up winning. They're standing tall after they changed it to a no DQ match, and so blah blah blah. Basically, everybody's fighting each other, just leading up to this big pay-per-view match that they are going to happen at that they're going to have at Sacrifice. So. All right, so we get to Sacrifice, the big pay-per-view, after Bullet Club stands tall here to finish up. So we get to this. They're in Louisville, Kentucky for this particular pay-per-view here. I believe this was a pre-show match. Lady Frost defeated Giselle Shaw. All right, so to get to the actual pay-per-view, Rich Swann, Willie Mack defeated Honor No More tag team of Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. Maria Kanellis tried to do some shenanigans throughout the match. It did not end up coming to fruition. Swann ends up rolling up Bennett to score the victory. So next up, my guy, Jake. What's my name?
Something!
Loses to Trey Miguel. I didn't think he would win it yet.
It was a good match, though.
Yeah, it was a good match, back and forth. That's another reason why I like Jake, man. Like, I'm a fan. Like, my style is Jake something style. But when he's in there with guys like Trey, high flyers and stuff, he can work with them, man. He can do it, man. So yeah, this is very good. Jake took a destroyer one time on the ramp, which was pretty crazy. Trey ended up winning with a Meteora from the top rope. So that was a pretty good match. So he retained. Later on, another iteration of this, I don't know, more versus Impact. Eddie Edwards with Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, Maria Kanellis beat Rhino, Rich Swann, Willie Mack, and Chris Sabin. All those guys end up.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah. Basically, ROH locker room versus Impact
like
locker room. So yeah. Okay, so we get to another women's title, the Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, the Inspirations, Cassie Lee, Jessie McKay versus the Influence, Madison Ray, Tenille Dashwood. These kind of got off like to a slow match, and they were kind of working on different things. But Caleb with a K had a lot to do with this match. He makes his way to ringside eventually and throws one of the titles in the ring. Tenille grabs it, hits Cassie Lee over the head, scores the 1, 2, 3, and no!
Oh yeah.
So the Influence takes over as the Impact Knockouts tag team champions. So all right, so moving on here, we got W. Morrissey, who basically just continues to terrorize Brian Myers. He throws him through a commentary table and throughout during the pay-per-view, actually right before the Jonah versus PCO match, which Jonah ended up winning, which this was pretty good, man. Like, PCO's nuts, man. He takes a lot of bumps still, like he's 20 years old. So
Right.
a lot of so I can see like a little push coming here for Jonah, eventually. So all right, so moving on down there, of course, we all picked this one correctly. Jay White would be Alex Shelley with the Blade Runner. AJ really wanted to pick him, but he's just an Alex Shelley mark. All right, so then later on, we got our AAA and ROH Women's World Champion Deonna Purrazzo versus, who ended up wrestling Chelsea Green, who Chelsea Green would, I think, answer the challenge later on that night. Purrazzo obviously would retain. Ended up attacking her pretty much, that kind of stuff. So ended up kind of schmozzy. So next up, they move on to the Impact women's title, which was Mickie James and Tasha Steelz, like we just talked about. Like I said, Mickie James.
Hardcore country.
That's right.
Loses to Tasha Steelz because she is no longer the Knockouts World Champion. Tasha caught Mickie with a mid-air cutter to win the match.
She was just regular country that day.
She was regular country, so she is your new world champion. So I think we kind of seen this one coming too. We talked about this one. So, all right, later on we got new Impact World Tag Team Champions, Primo. Violent by Design with Cody Deaner defeated the Good Brothers with Chris Bay at their side there to be the new tag team champions. So they're going to keep the belts at home. They are not going to Japan or anywhere else. So, all right, so let's get to this main event here, brother. Impact World Champion Moose. Yep. He put the belt on the line against Heath.
Moose.
I mean, Heath Gator Slater, baby. You know it.
He's got kids.
He does have kids, and we weren't shocked to see, Moose retain the title here. I think what they were really getting towards was what happened here at the end. After the match, we see Josh Alexander come running in the arena all the way from the back, jumps in the ring, and lets everybody know that he has signed a new multi-year contract with Impact Wrestling, and that he's going to be challenging Moose for the Impact World title.
Right after Rebellion. He just laid out Moose.
Yeah, right. Yeah, after he just laid out Moose. Yeah, skip that part, didn't I? Yeah. So he comes back to the ring, lays out Moose, lets everybody know that he's back. Josh, there was rumors he might be going to AEW. There might be a little relationship thing here, but, as what we know now, he has fixed his passport and he has fixed his contract. And, so Josh Alexander's back, man. Hey, that's a big signing, man. I kind of felt like they had to keep him.
Yeah, it's good. That's a good keep on their part. He's been with Impact here for a little while, and he's really established something there. So it's good to keep him going there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people thinking he was going to sign elsewhere, and he's kind of a little bit of a hot free agent. So so that's going to be interesting. But that's how Sacrifice ended up going off there, and so it was a pretty good pay-per-view over there on Impact Plus there. And the big pay-per-view, you guys remember, they said Moose will challenge Josh at Rebellion. Last year at Rebellion was the Moose versus Omega match.
Oh, yeah. Already a year.
Or was it Cage? Was it Cage?
It was – no, Cage was at
Moose.
It was Moose.
Yeah, it was that big one where they did a lot of stuff with AEW. So we'll see if they're.
Or was it Sami Callihan?
Yeah, because Sammy had won it not long before that. Yeah, I think you're right. So, but anyway, that was the one where they mixed with AEW. So,
right, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
we'll see what happens here with that one coming up. So, all right, so that'll do it for the weekly recap here. Trying to move on to the Dropkick discussion of the week, brothers. All right. You guys know it's March. Nope, I didn't say Marks. I said March. It is the month of March. This month we are covering famous WrestleMania matches from just a couple famous ones that we talked about. Last week we covered the classic legendary Steamboat Savage match. Well, today we're going to talk about The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, NWO Hulk Hogan from WrestleMania X8. Now, you heard The Rock and Hulk Hogan talk in that famous promo there at the top of the show here that Primo set up. So that was kind of the big setup to leading up to this match. So this match was WrestleMania X8, X18, whichever you want to call it. It was held March the 17th, 2002, Primo. So next week, this match is 20 years old, man.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So this was held in Toronto, Canada at the Sky Dome, which the same place that Hogan wrestled Ultimate Warrior in WrestleMania 6.
Right.
So this would be Hogan's second big match there in Canada at the Sky Dome. So this was the last WrestleMania under the WWF moniker. The following May, right after March here, they got the F out. Remember the old
F out.
Vince talked about that. Yep.
Right.
And then in comes WWE, the World Wrestling Entertainment, and we are off and running on what we know next as the Ruthless Aggression era. Right after, which kind of came up right after that. So aggression. So we had 69,000 people roughly in attendance. We had close to 1 million pay-per-view buys. This one was booked as Icon versus Icon. This right here, Primo, is, if you're watching right now on YouTube, this right here, Primo, is a DVD. Remember these?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. This match was so important to me, and I think it's such a big deal. I bought this a long time ago when it first came out. Because I always wanted to own this little piece of history, man. It was great.
Man, I remember, it was, this was, 02, right? 02?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you go over to Take One Video or Hollywood Video, Blockbuster, after about a couple weeks after the pay-per-view, and go check it out. If you didn't get to watch the pay-per-view.
Yep.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah, man, it was really great. So, all right, so in the main event of this particular WrestleMania, Triple H beat Jericho to win the WWF Undisputed title.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was
the second.
Right, yep.
But nobody talks about the second. It was the
Nobody
first.
Nobody talks about it, just the first one, right, yep. So The Rock was, he was basically the face in this match. Hogan was supposed to be the heel.
Yes.
Now, the Toronto crowd wanted it to be the other way. They didn't care. But, this would be the last kind of like heel run for Hogan here in this era. So this, the story has been told that the story has been told by Hogan that this crowd was so pro Hogan that they decided to change the match on the fly to get a little bit more heat on Hogan if they could. Allegedly, Hogan said that he kind of fixed the match at the end because, The Rock was pissed that they were cheering Hogan. It's kind of little backstories that I've read and heard here. So they allegedly fixed the match to go back over the pin. So I've always kind of thought this match, should have been the USA just because how big it was. I mean, it was still awesome, over there. But these two big, icons, it would have been kind of cool to see, them over here. And this match was also kind of seen as the official passing of the torch, by Hogan to Rock, as Andre did to him. Back in Mania 3, that kind of stuff. So right before the match, Hogan tells the NWO Hall and Nash to not interfere during this because, he wants to, do this alone, like all by himself, and then right before we see the famous face-off promo where, Hogan saying he's the best ever. He's the reason, all the people are here, The Rock, basically, what we heard at the top of the show. Rock says, how about, one more WrestleMania? How about headline
with
one more
the
WrestleMania
Rock?
With the Rock, yeah.
So the Rock is gracious enough to let this young up and comer come and hop on the WrestleMania card with the great one.
Exactly. So, and then we hear Lawler, right? Yeah, we hear Lawler, constantly say, we didn't get to see Ali versus Tyson, but we will get to see The Rock versus Hogan, that kind of stuff. Like two icons from different eras clashing. I mean, it was exactly that. So, so we get to the entrances, Primo. I mean, they're fucking electric, dude.
Yes.
Like the Rock didn't really do anything but walk down and place is going nuts.
Remember what I said last week about the camera flashes?
Yes. I mean, you see here how much charisma The Rock oozed, just by not even saying anything. You know what I mean? Just,
when he gets up on that turnbuckle, does the arm raise, it's just thousands of camera flashes.
Right. Yeah. So the crowd, Hogan comes out first. The crowd is loving Hogan. Both these guys are in super phenomenal shape. Rock gets in the ring. Right off the bat, Hogan's telling Rock, he's pointing to the crowd, all these people are mine. They're for me. They're here. And you look at Rock, he's, calling him like a son of a bitch under his lips and stuff so, so they do the classic face off. Crowd goes nuts. They both look one way, and then the other,
Took them a whole 2 minutes to actually lock up.
They actually lock up, yeah, and Hogan once again tells The Rock, these people, they're with me, So finally, we get to the lockup, and that's when I really noticed the flash bulbs, the lockup. That was when they really like everybody just shot 250 pictures all of a sudden. Yeah, it was nuts, man. The test of strength, crowds going bananas for Hogan when he's getting the power over on The Rock. It's funny. The Hogan kind of starts taking over. He starts calling Rock a meatball. Like I hadn't heard him say meatball since he was in Rocky III with Thunder Lips.
Thunder Lips.
Yeah, that we talk about with Bucky later on. Yeah. So The Rock is bumping pretty good early for Hogan, who is, basically getting his stuff in, getting his clotheslines in, that kind of stuff, his big boots, and the crowd's loving it. Like every fucking little thing that Hogan does, they're loving it. And you start to see a little bit of The Rock's, fan base grow here a little, just, what I mean? Once, because Rock gets these short little rallies and then Hogan just takes back over and shuts them down. You know what I mean? Like he'll get 1, 2, 3, and then, and the crowd's, going boo, boo. And then Hogan comes back with his on and, and throws Rock in the corner and the crowd just eats it up, dude, man. Like totally pro Hogan, it's great, man. It's great. So Hogan gets he gets a couple back on The Rock, and then Hogan even starts choking The Rock with some wrist tape.
With his wrist tape.
And the crowd is still
he's doing heel tactics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to trying to do some heel tactics. So this is where the match kind of changes. They go outside the ring. Hogan acts like he wants to put Rock through the announcer's table, but it doesn't really come to fruition. They kind of spill back into the ring, and then they cross Irish whip, and Rock bumps into the referee, which is Mike Chioda, by the way, and with the help of Hogan. So this is where the match starts to turn here, right? Rock gets Hogan in a sharpshooter. He's tapping, but the ref is still out. The Rock comes over and tries to wake him up, but basically walks into a low blow. And here's where, Hogan starts really doing the bad heel stuff. The cheating, kind of looks like he's going to cheat tactics and stuff. But, walks into a low blow, and then the rock bottom from Hogan. And then the ref wakes up. He's laid out. And then he wakes up just to do the count, right? And then he kicks out of the count at 2 3/4. And then he goes back to selling, right? And then he wakes up again for another pin later. And then, I mean? It's just, it's hilarious. I'm dying laughing.
Good job, Mike.
Yeah, at Chioda, at him doing that. So Rock kicks out. Next up, Hogan is striping the Rock with his belt. beating him like a government mule is what JR says. Rock gets the belt from Hogan and starts to beat Hogan with it now. And you see the crowd start to turn a little bit. Maybe they're cheering Rock a little bit more. Hogan kicks out of a rock bottom, and then here we go. Here comes the Hulk up. Well, just as they were starting to get Rock on the side, the Hulk up starts. Crowd goes nuts again because everybody wants to see the Hulk up, right? Like, ooh, the big point. Hogan hits the leg drop. Rock kicks out at 2. Hogan misses the second leg drop, right? And so we start to get to the finish here. The referee's starting to wake up. He's starting to move around. We get 2 rock bottoms in a row. And then to finish it off, Rock starts looking at the crowd. He's looking back and forth. And then it's like he gets a big jolt of energy, jumps up to the top. It's time to start the people's elbow.
Hell yeah.
So crowd goes wild. He does does his thing, does the 1, 2, 3 for the Rock win. Basically, he could have put him out with the 2 rock bottoms, but he finishes him off with the elbow. Rock wins. Hulk Hogan's officially 0-2 in the Sky Dome at that moment. So the Rock celebrates. They face off again. Hogan extends his hand, as if to say, it looks like a whimpering puppy at this moment, and they show respect and handshake. The Hogan puts over Rock, as a sign of respect, and then Hogan goes to try to get out of the ring. Right. And then so Hall and Nash come out to the ring, and you think they're going to help Hogan get their guy out of there. So then they attack Hogan. So this is how we're going to get Hogan back on the face side. So they attack Hogan. The Rock comes back, saves him. They toss Hall and Nash out of the ring. Hogan's face turn is official. He's out of the NWO here, and then Rock calls Hogan back into the ring again when he tries to get out because, you know why? Because Hogan must pose, baby. He's got to show the guns and do the ears and all that stuff. So, he's got to do it, man. And then they walk out side by side together. So that's how the whole match was laid out. And how, we got to it. I watched this match twice. Primo, I want you to give me your thoughts here.
All right. So starting with that video package at the beginning. And the video package is what inspired me because I remembered watching the Monday Night Raw live where The Rock did the promo. That's what inspired me for the intro was watching the video package. But I've said it over and over again. They don't make the video packages quite like they used to. This package had me amped. It was awesome. And then I said specifically, that was what I was talking about last week with the camera flashes during The Rock's entrance. I like how they knew and they acknowledged it in the package, the video package, and King and JR would acknowledge it during the match. They knew that this was history, taking place in front of them.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah, this was 2 eras colliding, 2 icons. You know what I mean? These 2 are virtually on just about everybody's probably Mount Rushmore. You know what I'm saying? We never got Austin and Andre. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean? So for these guys to be able to wrestle each other is fucking huge.
The fans were going absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
You could see them all jumping around going crazy. It looks like a damn mosh pit.
Yeah.
I love the taunting back and forth. I just put just bring it because he did the just. He stopped it.
Yeah.
Just love bring it. When they spilled to the outside of the ring, whenever Hogan was going to put Rock to the table, I put there should be a drinking game where you take a shot every time Mike Chioda goes, "Hey."
Right, I know. Yeah. Or how many times he holds his hand up in the air?
Yeah. Hey. Oh man. So in regards to the sharpshooter, 3 people I can remember that used to always do this. The Rock, Kurt Angle, and Chris Jericho. So the Walls Jericho, the ankle lock, and the Rock sharpshooter, where they don't do this anymore very often, where they would pull them off the ropes back into the center of the ring. I like that.
Yeah.
I've always liked that.
When they get close to it and pull them back.
And they walk back into the middle of the ring or pull them back in the middle of the ring. And then, it kind of hurts their spirits.
Sure.
The crowd at one time, they were pissing The Rock off. They were pissing me off. I put the crowd as full of idiots because they were cheering for the wrong person. The Rock was the face here, people.
Yeah, right.
And then we get to the People's Elbow, the most electrifying move in sports and entertainment, the People's Elbow. And I put, now the crowd wants to cheer on the great one now that he's doing the People's Elbow.
Yeah.
So he does the People's Elbow, obviously 1, 2, 3. I put Hogan's looking like a battered old man at the end. The Rock beat the Hollywood out of him, and the Outsiders made it official when they jump him at the end there. And then the great one allowed Hogan to pose in the ring at the end in front of the millions. Very, very gracious of him.
Yep.
But, respect to Hogan at the time. I remember, for me, I was a kid. Like, I was my son's age. So I was 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
Well, 2002, I was like 12, 13.
Right.
But I very clearly remember all this. And it was a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And back then, that's probably why I was getting so. Even though I saw it before, and I just rewatched it for this, and I got mad all over again for The Rock because The Rock was one of my guys, man.
Yeah.
And I wasn't of the Hogan era. I knew how big he was.
Right.
Obviously, I watched WCW during his Hollywood era, but I was still a Rock guy in this situation. And man, it is a big deal. And it was I will say it was a passing. It was deemed like a passing of the torch. However, it was less than a year that The Rock was gone after that because he went to the Scorpion King shortly after that.
Yeah, he did. And another thing too, a fact I thought you'd find funny: the very next month, Hulk Hogan won the WWF title at Backlash from Triple H in Kansas City.
Yep, he won, and it was my favorite, the one Eddie Guerrero has on right now in our picture there.
Yeah,
that's my favorite title. Is the Black Undisputed title, and also the next time at Rock Hogan 2, when Hogan is red and yellow at No Way Out 03 before the next WrestleMania.
Yep,
that's when The Rock is heel, as he's Hollywood Rock.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so we're breaking down this whole match and everything that's happened, man. Give me your final thoughts on this match. To you, in the era of wrestling that you've watched, where does this land for you? Is this top 5? Is this top 10, 15, 20?
I'd say top, for me personally, it is a good match. It's a historical match, okay?
Sure.
Wrestling match. I wouldn't put it top 20 as far as the wrestling match goes. Storytelling, okay. They did the double turn too. But it was historical. Okay.
Sure.
So I would put it, for me, top 20, because the history was kind of for me, as we know, the history was kind of disregarded because The Rock left shortly after.
Sure.
So, but at the time, it was a big deal. It is historical. It is one of the greatest WrestleMania matches.
Yeah,
if we're just talking about just WrestleMania matches.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Just WrestleMania matches.
It probably is top 10 of just WrestleMania matches.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it makes more sense. Yeah,
just because of the historical significance of it.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's there, this is two icons clashing here. We, two guys that was, that were top guys in their own eras and past eras. Like I said, a lot of times we don't get that. Like, we didn't get Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Andre the Giant. We didn't get, Ric Flair versus, we won't get Ric Flair, versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, or
Brock Lesnar.
like that,
you know what I mean? Yeah, we won't get matches like that. So, when these can happen and these guys can put on healthy matches and, guys be healthy enough for them to happen. Cause we always wanted to see Rock and Austin Hogan and Austin, you know what I'm saying? Just because, those guys are like, big guys from their eras, you know what I'm saying? So just, from that perspective, I thought the match was good. It's pretty decently, laid out, entertaining. I guess it was probably, a little more of a spectacle for nostalgia reasons, what I mean? But, it's two characters from two different eras.
Very, very fun to watch.
Right. Yeah. Very fun to watch. Two huge fan bases. Two guys that are, arguably on like everybody's Mount Rushmore, probably, at least one of these guys are getting mentioned on everybody's Mount Rushmores. So for me, just because nostalgia reasons, and we don't see, get these types of matches like this every day. Now, had this match been shit, it wasn't a great match, but it definitely wasn't shit by any means. But, for me, I think this is top 5 Mania matches all time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I would even say that this is better than as far as historically, because at that time, like you mentioned, it hadn't really been done yet. The generation, the passing of the torch.
Yeah.
Tyson Ali, Rock Hogan. Then we had a few years ago, Rock Cena.
Mm-hmm.
So it's big to me, and also because it was part of my childhood. I think Rock Hogan is bigger than Rock Cena.
I do too.
Right.
Yeah, I do too. I would say that. Yeah, it's probably really close, but I mean, yeah. I mean, and the only reason I'd say it's probably close is because they did Rock Cena, 3 times?
Twice.
Yeah. Twice. And it was a full year.
A full damn year. Yeah.
Full year. We knew they were going to run it back the next year.
Longest year ever.
Yeah. So that was, that was kind of pretty amazing. But, always fun to go back and watch legendary matches like this. Next week, we're going to be talking, I think it's Punk and Taker.
Punk Taker. Yeah.
Yeah. Punk Taker from WrestleMania 29, legendary Taker, match there. We're actually covering 2 Taker matches this month. This is the first one. So go watch that one from Mania 29. So yeah, great. Always great to see legendary matches like that, man. And it's really cool to see how they laid this thing out like back then and, try to get, whoever. So it's really cool there. So, all right. So that'll do it for the Dropkick discussion of the week.
Hey, this is BuckNasty Bucky Collins, and you're listening to Sit Down Marks.
All right, Primo. Well, we had the pleasure of getting to talk to Bucky again. Well, actually, I got to talk to him for the first time. You and AJ got to talk to him last time.
That's right.
So, yeah, I had a blast last Saturday, man, down at Zawa, and Bucky wrestled down there, so I got to talk to him for a while. And Bucky is wrestling. He's coming down to our home promotion, the one we work for, Iron Spirit Pro, this Friday. He is wrestling Dante Leon. So, it was really cool of Bucky to stop by and talk to us before his match here Friday.
Yeah, for sure. We really enjoyed having him on the first time. We were glad he was able to give us some time here. We talked a little bit of everything, wrestling. We talked movies, all kinds of stuff. We asked him 10 questions for cage match. It was a good time. So yeah, make sure you guys tune in and listen to Bucky Collins there.
Yeah, he's great, man. And, he is a veteran independent wrestler. He's been around for a long time. He's wrestled just about everybody. But, on top of everything else, man, Bucky's a great guy. He's got a really awesome personality. And he's super fun, man. And you guys are going to see this on this interview. So welcome back for the second time. Here is our interview with Bucky Collins. All right, everybody. Today, you've seen this guy over a lot of promotions in the Midwest, especially Zawa Live, Freelance Wrestling, AAW, and this weekend, you can see him Friday night at Iron Spirit Pro. Welcome back to the pod, Primo. We got the BuckNasty one, independent professional wrestling veteran, Bucky Collins. Welcome back, brother.
Wow, I've never heard someone sound so excited to see me.
That's what I do, man. I'm a mark, man. I just get excited when I get to talk to people that wrestle.
Holy cow.
That's my thing.
I want to get the recording of that as my alarm clock every morning. Can I do that?
Primo can make that happen.
I can make that happen very easily.
I feel it motivate me. Like, wow, the day wants me.
That'll get your day going real good.
That's right, man. I'm like a shot of espresso in your alarm clock, dude.
My gosh.
Yeah. But welcome back, Mr. BuckNasty. We haven't seen you since episode 26, I believe. It's been a little while. We've gotten way worse since then, so sorry about that. But we brought you back
episodes.
Oh, that's fine.
Since then.
Actually, too, man. Happy belated birthday, brother. How many of those beer skis did you knock back yesterday?
Oh, dude, I wish I could tell you.
I
can't even remember.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, memory is the first thing to go.
Exactly.
It does, man. So, when did you realize that you shared a birthday with Shaquille O'Neal? When did you figure that one out?
Actually, pretty early.
Yeah,
I think that was one of the first ones that I heard of when I was old enough to figure out people's birthdays. I think he was one of the first ones to pop up.
Yeah, that was always pretty cool, man. I seen it was your birthday yesterday. Sent you a little birthday message, happy birthday, and then what was it after that I seen? It was Shaq's birthday today too. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Somebody, I share one with Randy Orton. So how about that?
I have the same birthday as Val Venus too.
Boom!
Dang, nice.
That's right.
Mine is
hello.
Mine's all right. I have Woody Harrelson and Daniel Radcliffe. So,
oh my gosh, Harry Potter and Woody.
That's right. I could have been American Harry Potter.
My God, have a sweet matchup of magicians or wizards and bartenders.
Right. That sounds like it could be the next movie. That work. Like Hogwarts versus hookers. I don't know, something like that at a bar. I don't know.
Raunchy Woody Harrelson.
Have you seen Cheers?
Right. Yes.
I don't know the kind of Cheers you were watching.
Oh, Bucky, man. Well, me and AJ just saw you this past Saturday night at Zowa Live up in Sterling, man. It wasn't a good night for you, brother. You lost that Fireweight Championship to Anakin Murphy. I myself, I blame Havens. I think it's all his damn fault. So, tell us, man, what happened, dude? What happened?
Dude, it's classic case of jealousy. I mean, if you keep a belt on someone too long, you start losing a lot of viewers. So they felt they had to find a way to screw me over. I get it. It happens everywhere.
I know.
You just gotta go. You just gotta roll the punches. And Havens, he's just pissed because I've won way more than he ever has. And you know what? Whatever. I'll get it back.
Yeah, I definitely think you will. I mean, they should thank you for the houses there. I mean, Sterling had, one of the biggest crowds I've seen there so far this past Saturday night. And apparently I know it was all because of you. They came to see Bucky Collins, you know what I mean? And to see you get screwed over like this, the Sterling faithful cannot be happy about this.
Gosh, I want to know what I did with you in the past life that you like me so much. That intro and now this? God.
I tend to lean towards the heels, man. I like the bad guys, you know what I mean?
Hey, we have way more fun.
Yeah, they are, man. So tell us, Bucky, how long you been wrestling now, man? What's the count on?
It's about 13 now. I started in October of 2008.
Dope. Okay. Yeah, we were just talking kind of briefly before this, kind of the first time I saw you wrestle, which is what I thought was about 8 years ago in AEW, right after I moved to the Midwest. So yeah, so you've been at it for a little while now, man. So you got a couple jobs here. What's better? You like serving beers at the brewery, or you like tossing assholes around in the ring? Which is better?
I mean, they both have qualities that lead to memory loss. So I'm definitely going to be probably the most charming vegetable ever in about maybe 40 years or so.
Well, you know what? Every morning when you're that vegetable, I'll come and I'll say that in your ear, your intro every morning, and that'll get you up and rolling, dude. It'll be like
the end of the Notebook where you say the intro, and then I'm like, oh, it's you.
Yeah, it'll be like that movie with Adam Sandler, like where every day
51st Dates.
Yes.
You gotta make a video for me.
Every day you have to watch it to remember.
Yep, exactly right, man.
Oh my God. Sit Down Mark podcast. You remembered who I am.
That's right. What else you want to do in wrestling, man? How much longer does Bucky want to take bumps?
Man. I'm one of those people that never prepares ahead of time. So
Sure.
I mean,
Ride it till the wheels fall off kind of deal.
Yeah. Maybe when they're wobbling, not even not fall off.
There you go. Yeah. Yep. Jump off before you hit face first, I guess what you're trying to say, right?
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you've done a lot in wrestling already. You know what I mean? You've been on the indie scenes for a while. You're on a lot of cards. As a heel, you pissed off a lot of people. So, you're very well known, on the independent scene. And I personally love it when I see you on the card because, I know that we're going to get a show because, not only Bucky, not blowing you up, not only a good wrestler, but, you always like to put on the show. And, last time you were on the podcast, you talked about how, that was kind of like another side of you getting to express yourself. So now that you've done it for this long, is it still feel that way? Or are you doing this for you now? You know what I mean? Like, just
it always is. It's basically like a mixture of both. Like I still see wrestling as like a means of expressing a part of myself I don't feel comfortable expressing in my everyday life. And now it's more important than ever because I'm married. So I definitely can't act like Bucky Collins in the household. Right. Otherwise, I don't know how much longer it'd last.
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the first things that I became a fan of yours, and I hope you still have these, you used to wear like these like ship brown and yellow like long boys.
Oh yeah.
I think like they just, they say heel all over them without even saying heel on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, oh my God, this guy's coming out in these kind of pants. Like, please tell me you still have those.
What are you talking about? Nothing says good guy like brown and yellow.
Tell me something else that says good guy that's brown and yellow.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to dress like a really bad looking toilet. That'll be a perfect person to cheer for.
Yeah. Yeah, it would, man. It would. Those are great, man. I used to laugh when you used to come out in those, man. Primo, you got to look those up, man. Those were some classic pants there.
I literally just thought, what are the two ugliest colors? And then I just decided to, because it's not like I'm dressing to impress. In fact, I'm doing the exact opposite. So
right. That's funny. What are you watching on TV, man? You watching? Did you watch Revolution last night? What catches your eye on TV? What are you watching?
I didn't get to see Revolution. I've seen. I do a lot of following wrestling through Twitter nowadays, so it's a lot more clips and stuff. Like I don't have cable or anything. I usually just watch. I do a lot of streaming, but I did see like clips from Revolution, and dude, it was just a clip, but I was getting goosebumps watching that Punk entrance from last night. Holy cow!
Yes.
So
cool.
Me and Mr. Havens. I don't know if you've had him on here yet. I think you have.
Yeah.
But like we were deep into like Ring of Honor when they started to like maybe like 06, 07 or so. So it was like we were in those peak Punk years when he was in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I was flipping shit when I saw it last night. I was texting the boys, AJ and DB. I was like, "Oh my God!" Like everything, because they weren't watching it, and I didn't want to give away too much, but I was just like, "Jesus, it was good."
And then I saw some on Twitter today. Someone posted something where it's like, "What is this shit CM Punk's coming out to where it sounds like a terrible version of the Terminator music?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that made all the OGs pop right there, man. That AFI song, man. That was and then the outfit to go with it, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, do you have the basketball shorts? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Pretty classic. So, speaking of basketball shorts, man, does Bucky watch any other sports, man? You into anything else?
No, not really. Like, I have a brother who's like 10 years older than me, and he was really big into sports. So like around the time he was like doing a lot of high school sports, like 15 or 16, I was about like 5 or 6. And my parents would drag me to all of his games. So like I blame that for my lack of interest in sports, because every time I wanted to stay home and play with my toys, I had to sit on hard ass bleachers watching my brother throw a ball up and down a court or a field.
Nope. Oh.
I guess that'll do it.
It's given me really bad PTSD. Like I sit in a fetal position during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
All right, well, let's get off the sports then. Let's go back to wrestling, man. You know, this was one of the things too, Bucky, I want to ask you too, man, because I think you do this like this is just like when I look at a good heel wrestler, this is one of the qualities that I look at, right? Like, how fun is it when somebody's yapping at you, like some kind of fan or somebody outside, you know? How fun is it just look him in the face and just say, shut up, like every time, you know what I mean? Like, that has to be a good quality, I think, in a heel wrestler. Like, yeah, me cracking up because some lady was chirping at you Saturday night in Zawa, and you're like, shut up, lady. And I'm like, man, that would just be fun. Like, just do that. Like, shut up, lady.
I feel like everyone has that inkling to want to do something like that. And again, that's part of like I said, it's like the things I use Bucky Collins to do the things that I can't do, I feel like, in my personal life. And definitely just telling a random woman to shut up is one of those.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I just think that's just so hilarious, man. That pops me every time when, like, you know, when a wrestler does that, because, you know, a lot of times, you know, somebody yells something from the crowd thinking, oh, you know, he's not going to hear it or something like that, and one of the wrestlers pipe back at you, man. I think it's just hilarious. But all right, well, what does Bucky Collins, out of character, do on a day off, man? If you're not in any sports, that kind of stuff, man.
Oh,
man,
man,
what do you like to do?
I don't know. I just kind of go with the flow. Like, as we'll probably bring up later, I watch a lot of movies. I'm really into movies and stuff like that.
Yep.
Me and my wife actually saw the Batman yesterday, which was really good. If you ever want to check that out.
Yeah. What's your best review, non-spoiler? Because I haven't watched it yet. I don't think Primo has either.
I would say it's probably I don't know if it's the best Batman movie I've seen yet, but I'd say it's the most qualified to call itself a Batman movie, if that makes any sense.
Very fair. Yeah. I mean, I like that. Like, that's what I need to hear. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard really good things.
Oh, it's good.
Well, we're talking about movie buff here, man. You do have a podcast that I've just started to listen to and laugh at a lot. You want plug that, man, and you know, let's just talk about what you guys talk about real quick.
It's called the Review Podcast. If you want to look it up, you have to do. We found the best way to find the most unsearchable name possible.
Right.
It's review as in REVIEW, and then another review, REVUE, and then podcast. Usually you have to search all 3 words to actually find it, but wherever you can find podcasts. And it's basically, I always describe it as, it's 3 friends. It's like me and my other 2 friends, and it's literally like our poker night, like probably like how you guys do this. It's just a way to get together to talk where like busy schedules would probably not allow us to get together.
Right. You guys actually record all in the same room, correct?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
We'll literally get together on a Wednesday night and like throw some beers back and just say the dumbest possible thing that comes to our heads.
Yeah, it's good. You guys just reviewed, I believe the last one I listened to was The Mummy, I believe.
Yeah.
It was very hilarious. I highly recommend it, you know, especially for movie buffs. And so another thing too is I wanted to ask is What movie do you think you've watched the most in your lifetime?
Oh man,
Movie buffs probably have like a couple that's up there. That's usually ones that they've watched the most.
I'm sure it, and this is probably mostly because my parents owned it as a kid, and I just watched it nonstop. And then growing up, I still like it. I'd probably put Jurassic Park up there.
Okay, nice.
Like Jurassic Park was very much a mainstay when I was growing up as a kid. And then like it's one of those movies where it's like when you're a kid, you just watch it just for all the dinosaurs. And then as you get older, you're like, oh wow, those really boring parts are actually really good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those kind of stood the test of time too. Like it's still a classic for sure.
Oh yeah.
All right, now getting back to wrestling, Bucky, I wanted to ask you, man. Later on in the pod, we're going to be talking about The Rock and Hogan from Wrestlemania X8. You remember watching that match, man? And tell me who were you pulling for?
Oh man, like it was like right on the cusp of when I started watching wrestling on a regular basis.
Yeah, we're just like 2 weeks from being 20 years to the day that match happened.
Yeah. This was back when I was like in like probably close to like middle school.
Okay.
Let me think. 3 I can't. Oh, dude, I'm terrible at math. But yeah, I'd be 14.
Yeah,
I'd be 14. So it was like when I was in middle school, and like I was watching wrestling, but I was too poor to afford the pay-per-views. It wasn't until like I was in high school, and I met up with Mr. Havens and then all of our buddies where we'd all chip in and watch all the pay-per-views every month. But like here, I was definitely like, I did whatever WWE told me to. Like they would point and say, "Hey, that's a good guy." Like, "Oh yes, him all the time, all the time." Yes.
Right.
So I was probably rooting for The Rock because Hogan hit him with a truck. Or no, was it? Oh yeah, it was a truck and an ambulance, wasn't it? Or no? God.
That was leading up to the match, right? When he was going through the NWO gauntlet and all that. Yeah. I believe you're right.
We really need you to boo Hogan, so we're gonna have him hit The Rock with a truck.
Right. And then they get to Toronto and the crowd fucking loves Hogan. Like, what? The crowd's nuts. Like
should have hit him with something bigger, man. Should have hit him with something bigger.
Yeah. Bunch of idiots.
Like, run a plane into him or something, I guess.
Fucking Zamboni his ass next time.
I take notes on this exact thing earlier today.
Yeah.
I have a lot to say about this on Wednesday.
That's amazing, man. Oh, Bucky, back to your career, man. Who's your favorite match so far?
My favorite matches I've had?
Yeah.
I think the first one that I felt really proud of, there was a match I had in Freelance. It was like when I was still being booked as a singles there, and like I had my big blow off with Isaiah Velasquez, I think is probably my favorite.
Nice.
Because it was we did a whole build up to it. Like he was injured at the time, so they were trying to find a way to keep him relevant without having to bring him on every show. So I would just come out and call him out all the time and talk about he was scared and everything, until he finally came back when he had our big blow off where he goes over on me, and like it was the first time I ever main evented like a big caliber show like that.
Sure.
And then to come to back and then him like trusting me because it was his first big match after he was injured. Like it just felt like a recipe of like I did something good today.
For sure. Yeah. yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah. A lot of things happening there. Yeah. That's awesome. Do you have like a go-to road snack that you grab on the way, when you're going to a town or somewhere?
Holy cow. We stop at Casey's all the time.
Of course.
It's the worst food.
It is.
It's the worst. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I always say Casey's is like the Midwest plague. Like you can't escape it. It's everywhere.
You can't, man. Yeah.
But it's the most delicious plague.
It's pretty good pizza.
But I don't know. I'll what is it? I eat nuts usually, or try to.
Yeah, I'm a big almond guy. I like almonds.
Yeah.
A lot of almonds, yeah.
I don't like eating like big hefty food on show days because then I feel like bloated the entire day.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you got to get in a pair of tights. So.
Oh God. Yeah. It's not
For
good
sure.
when like I'm out of breath walking into the building and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a fun night.
Yeah, for sure. Who you think is the most famous wrestler you've had a match with? Like I asked Havens this, and he told us. Who did he tell us, Primo? I think he told us. Chat. I don't remember.
So I've slept a few times since
I think it was Eugene.
Actually, I think he might have said
that's right. Yeah, he did have a
Yeah.
match with Eugene. Yeah.
You put
I
any
know
old
I was in a
guys
match
over or
with-
anything? Yeah.
I was in a match with Stevie Richards once. He was really nice. And then like I had a random match when Dreamwave was still going. I remember I had a random match with Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh, cool. Yep.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah, that was one of the other promotions that I seen you a lot when I first came in because I started going to AEW, and then that was before I even found out about Dreamwave. And then I found out about Dreamwave and I started going there because it was closer. You know, I was hitting. Did you ever do what was the promotion in Joliet? Is it like Blitz Pro?
No, I never got out there.
Yeah. I was kind of going somewhere to some of those when I first moved here. So are you like a memorabilia guy? You got like a cool autograph, a big Undertaker statue in your bedroom or anything like that?
I'm not much of a collector of that kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. When I was a kid, I was super into it, but now I don't know. Like, I've never really super gotten into it. And like, I kind of wish I did, but I've never, I don't know.
Sure.
Like, there's some times where it's like, I probably should have a picture with that guy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm way more to myself right before I go out. So I'm way in my head before I actually go out for a match.
Right. All right, understood. All right, Bucky, man, let's talk about what's going on this weekend, man. This Friday night, you're going to be down at our home promotion, the promotion we work for here this Friday, March 11th in Normal, Illinois at the Normal Community Center. This Friday, man, we got a nice card stacked up here, man. I'm looking forward to it, but I want to talk to you, Bucky, right off the bat, man, because, you always hear cards subject to change. Well, it happens. You were supposed to wrestle Orion Creed, and then he is now out. Now you got to kind of change mentality. You're now wrestling Dante Leon, who I believe is undefeated. I don't think he's ever lost there, man. So how does one do that? How does a wrestler do that, man? You prepare for a match, card subject to change. All of a sudden, you got to change game plan against somebody else, and this has happened here to you. So this is kind of perfect scenario, man. Like, what's that like, man? You almost kind of like got to change your mindset.
First, I think it's funny. This is the second time I think I've been scheduled to face Orion Creed, and it got changed. So it's
He
like
don't
the
want it,
match,
man. He don't want it.
Yeah, it was the match that was cursed to never happen.
Gotcha.
But no, yeah, getting ready for like someone like Dante Leon. I always get kind of taken back by like people that are way more high flying than me, just because it's something that it just cannot.
Right.
It's like that's like something I can't comprehend. Is doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, no, hey, I mean, you say he's undefeated. That's perfect for me. I love stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive.
I love hearing undefeated and being like, all right.
Like challenge accepted.
That's right.
Exactly.
Have you wrestled him before anywhere else? Is this the first time?
If I have, it was a long time ago.
Gotcha.
And I've been watching a lot of his stuff. I know he goes to GCW every once in a while. I've seen some of his stuff there. He's turning a lot of heads. And just a match with a guy like that, it puts a lot more stock on me. So I feel like the biggest compliments are like anyone can tell you that you're good, but the biggest compliments are the kinds of matches that people deem worthy to put you in. And I think Dante Leon's one of those matches. So, hey, I'll put him down and then get a pin, and then maybe he'll turn some heads.
Yeah, man, sounds good. Yeah, because he's wrestled down for Iron Spirit Pro quite a good bit. He's been on a good many cards, man, and I believe he is undefeated. So yeah, a little something extra for the spoils there. So, Bucky, I talked to you Saturday, man. We talked a little bit about Iron Spirit Pro, and you were talking about the crowds in normal are usually pretty hot. Does that always make it more fun as a wrestler? When say like a booker wants to book you in a town, the crowd's going to be hot, is those kind of make you want to is that making it a little more fun? I guess adds a little bit more to it.
100%. That last Bloomington show that I was on for Iron Spirit, they were insane. The crowd was crazy. The more fun they have, it definitely transfers to us in the ring. Like that's always the best part.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Without letting us know too much here, what's the strategy against Dante Leon? A little bit of a high flyer. We're going to try to keep him grounded. Maybe take a knee out or something like that. What's the Bucky Collins plan going into Friday night?
Man, my plan would probably usually be usually when it comes to high flyers, it's a lot of risk taking, and keywords risk.
Sure.
You do enough of those, you're not going to hit something right. So you just wait him out, let him make a mistake, and then you start capitalizing.
I like it. Looking forward to.
Does he listen?
We'll
strike that from the audio.
Right. I tell you what we'll do. We'll get Primo to dub in something totally opposite right there. So that way we won't really know the game plan. And then so this is what we'll do for you here.
It'll be like 30 seconds of like Looney Tunes or something.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Dude, with all these demands I'm making, I hope you guys don't like charge me for this stuff.
Oh, but hey, Bucky, man, let's talk about a couple other matches on this card, man. You're familiar with a lot of these guys, dude. I mean, how can this match just be happening? How can this be first time ever? Stephen Wolf versus Hartenbauer. Dude, like, how did we get this far without this match happening before now?
Man, both these guys are really good friends of mine. And especially Hartenbauer, I feel like he's put in a lot of work these last couple of years. And I feel like this is definitely a match of I think it's just happenstance. Like Wolf was injured for a while. He had like his big break, like kind of flirting with the WWE for a little bit. And then he had his injury. And then I think like right around when he got injured or when he found out his injury was when I think Hartenbauer was really kicking it into high gear. And I feel like this is a perfect match of seeing like both people trying to prove themselves in this scenario. Like it's literally watching two guys that have grown over the last like 4 or 5 years, and now they're coming to this like perfect apex of like who really is the best. And plus I love both these guys. So I'm definitely gonna find a seat in the crowd for this one.
Yeah, man. These guys are both great dudes. I was talking to Hartenbauer because I was describing him what he looked like at Dreamwave when I was watching him back then in LaSalle, versus now. And then, watching Stephen Wolf too, man. And then to add a little more to it, Stephen Wolf is relocating, he's moving to Texas. So he's going to be based out of Texas. So I really feel like we're getting this match in like last minute, you know what I mean? Before these guys kind of part ways for a while, possibly. So a lot of storyline going on here, man. And I know Hartenbauer asked for this match. I was glad they was able to give it to him, and I know Wolf is happy about it. So, man, I think these guys are gonna lay it all on the line out there, and it's gonna be wild to see how it turns out for sure, dude.
And like you said, this could be the one and only. So this is definitely gonna be one worth coming out to see.
Absolutely, man. It definitely is, man. That right there is worth the price of admission alone. So, and then we also, they just announced Storm Grayson, big guy across, big independent wrestler across the Midwest right now, is wrestling a guy that's had some success lately in Iron Spirit Pro, Mad Dog Connolly. You know what I mean? This right here, different classes of styles as well.
Yeah, I see Storm a lot at Freelance, and he's been that guy that if they bring in someone that has somewhat of a name to him, they put him with him, and it's always usually match of the night. So he delivers, and I just saw Mad Dog at a Zawa show. I'm pretty sure I recruited him to beat up Connor Hopkins, and he didn't do enough of a good job. I didn't pay him for it that night, but I mean, he's still pretty impressive, and this is going to be a good one too.
Yeah, totally, man. So, all right.
What goes into that? What goes into recruiting somebody to beat somebody up for you?
Oh, dude, there's a wrestling classifieds that you go into. It's crazy. You just put down who you want beat up, and then you put down the price.
It's like a black market of wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Only wrestlers have access to it, though. Only wrestlers have access to
it.
Craigslist for private Craigslist.
When you first, after you get trained, they give you a special username and password.
Yeah.
And then it's like a big wrestling network. It's awesome.
In case there's a wrestling bounty out there somewhere.
Right.
Exactly.
Put in like a promo code based on what you need.
Yeah. And then they also have special questions to make sure you're heel, where it's like, does this town suck? And then if you say no, then they don't let you in.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. They'll check you for the cheap pop. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, few more matches announced here, man. We got a debuting Solomon Tupu versus the hometown guy, CJ Esparza. Now, let me tell you what. Now, this is a big hill to climb for CJ. He's coming off a loss last time in his hometown. Craig Mitchell came into town, gave him the big pile driver for the 1-2-3. Now he's coming back to his hometown again and wrestling this guy, Solomon Tupu. We actually seen him last Friday night. And this is an interesting bout here for CJ.
Oh yeah. I was supposed to have a match with CJ before COVID set in. So I'm definitely looking to have that match sometime in the near future. So hey, if Solomon Tupu can beat him up and then I get my rematch sooner than later, then I would like that.
Yeah, CJ gets the hometown pop too, man. So it's always nice trying to beat up on the hometown guy too.
Oh, dude, I lost in my hometown so many times. He can do those.
Right? Yeah.
I lost all the time in my hometown. It was more of a curse than anything.
Right. Rite of passage is what it is, right?
That's right. It gives you thicker skin.
It does. Makes you man. Puts hair on your chest. Right.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about this main event, man. Brew Baker has been the champ since the inception. He's been holding the strap for a long time. Dion Roosman's coming back, man. He's back after, I believe it was an ACL injury a while back, Bucky.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, so he's back, man, and right back in the title picture here, which I kind of think he was in, before he left. So, last show, Brew Baker defended the title against Ace Perry and was able to pull out a victory there. So, this is going to be a big match for Brew Baker. So what kind of problems can Dion, present for Brew Baker here?
Oh, man. I've known Roosman for a while. That guy looks like a star. Like he does. One of those people where like you walk into a room, he's like, God damn, that's a pro wrestler. But man, Brew Baker's been around a while, and he's been in enough big matches where he's probably seen a lot of Dion Roosman's come and go. So it's just a matter of whether or not this Dion Roosman is big enough to maybe let him underestimate him a little too much.
Yeah, I'm really interested in to see how this one all shakes out, but definitely looking forward to this Friday, though, man. They're going to be adding a few more. I know the low lifes are going to be in action that night, so it's going to be a big card, man. Friday night, get down to Normal, Illinois at the Normal Community Center. 7 o'clock, I believe, is It's bell time there, man. It's going to be a big card down at Iron Spirit Pro, man. Looking forward to it. So this show got postponed. We're supposed to have it, I believe, was into January, maybe, I believe. Like,
yeah, I think so.
Or something like that.
It was like the day before the Rumble, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, that's right. So we're getting back on track here, and going to be a big night of wrestling in Illinois. Normal, a lot of people say Normal, Bloomington, Blono, whatever. So, but in that area. So Friday night, man, come check it out. Come hang out and watch Bucky beat up on Dante. It's going to be fun.
Oh my gosh, how many sound clips am I going to pay you guys for? I'm just going to put all of this in just one big. Just constantly streaming it throughout my house. All of these wonderful compliments.
Bucky, I think you paid me. What'd you Venmo me for? Like 5 pre-show? Is that what you did today here? I think.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We still live?
We'll say that.
Bad. Okay, let's move on. All right, buddy, man. Let's have some fun, Bucky. We got your edition today with our guests. We always have a little session called Cage Match. So today, your session, my friend, is we're going to take 2 of your passions. We're going to take wrestling and movies, and we're going to put them together. I got 10 hot questions here that I think you're going to love about wrestling movies.
Got it.
These are all questions about wrestling movies or about wrestlers in movies, that kind of stuff. So it's going to be fun, man. And if you get enough here, I might even let you have a bonus question. That's how nice I am. So,
Sweet.
All right. So I won't throw it out there.
What an amazing award. More homework.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, we don't keep a track of, who's done the best, but I will say Gage Bright, our last guest on the last show, he got 8 out of 10. So a little something to strive for, a little something to shoot for. Just want so yeah. So all right, a couple softballs here.
That was Gage Match. This is Cage Match.
Yeah, this is a whole different thing. So all right, so we got 10 questions here, man. Let's get this thing started off here. All right. First question here, Bucky. What movie did the Big Show play the part of Captain Insano?
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? It's the Water Boy.
Yes. All right.
Come
Good
on.
deal.
Just as a precursor, I didn't hear any of these questions, so that's why I think that's funny.
Yeah. Primo's going to have some with fun with these too. So I like to throw some softballs to kind of get you going there. So
perfect.
All right, here we go. Second question. What was the name of the movie Jerry Lawler was in where Jim Carrey played Andy Kaufman?
Oh, man, that is Man on the Moon.
And that would be correct, sir. You are 2 for 2. All
right,
Gage. Here's another one for you. I'm coming for you, Gage. All right, what movie did Jesse Ventura as Blaine co-star in next to Arnold Schwarzenegger in 1987?
Oh, my God.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? It is Predator.
Are they all softballs?
well, some of them made me think. They do get a little bit harder here. So let's keep rolling. Let's see where you're
time
at
to bleed.
Yeah, let's see where you're at here with number 4. All right.
Okay.
You got to dial in a little more on this one here. All right. So what year was Thunder in Paradise released, starring Hulk Hogan?
Oh my God. I'm going to say, I think he left for that about 92. So it's either 92 or 93. I'm going to go the year. I'm going to go 92.
Ooh, should have went with the latter. It was 93.
Damn it. Well, I said it in past.
It was.
A half a point.
I'm gonna give it to you because I feel like if you're that close, you already like
Come
you're
on,
just
guys.
you're just off a couple of months.
To Gage.
Yeah.
I need bragging rights with Gage.
You're 4 for 4, Bucky. I like it. All right, here's another one for you, man. Who is the executive producer of The Rock's films Rundown, Walking Tall, and Scorpion King? The executive producer.
Oh my God.
It's not as hard as you think it is.
Executive producer. It's probably not Spielberg, is it?
No, I'm gonna think a little Homer. Think a little more closer to wrestling.
Oh, more closer. Oh, Vince McMahon.
Yes, sir. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh,
That's
okay,
5 for 5.
Jesus.
All right, man. We're rounding here, going on these last 5. All right. This is another little bit of a softball here. Name Hulk Hogan's character in the movie No Holds Barred.
Oh my God. It was shoot.
You can give me the first name. You don't have to have the last. Not everybody knows the last.
Oh, it's Rip. It's Rip.
Yeah. just to clarify, it's Rip Thomas. So
Rip Thomas. Yeah, that's right. Not so well-known son of Dave Thomas, Wendy's founder.
There you go. Yep. All right, here's another year you're gonna have to pull out of the old bank there, Bucky. What year was Ready to Rumble released?
Oh, that's 2000, baby.
Yeah, that's right on, brother. That's 2000.
That's right.
Yeah.
Actually, for anyone that's listened to review, we do have a Patreon where me and Mr. Havens are currently watching all of WCW in 2000.
Oh,
there you
nice.
Go. There you go.
No, it's not nice. It's
Bring
not
movies
nice.
in together.
It's not nice.
All right, Bucky, 7 for 7, man. Let's keep rolling. Here's another one, man. And we'll see if you get these last couple. What was the name of Bill Goldberg's 2005 movie where he plays Santa Claus? What's the name of the movie?
God, Santa's Sleigh.
Correct.
there is a claymation. Oh, what is it? I watched a part of this. I think there's a claymation curling match in this.
Oh,
where
yeah.
where like Santa loses and he goes to hell.
Oh, dope.
I don't remember that part, but yeah.
I don't think I do either.
I think it's I think it was a curling match.
All right, here's another one for you. Going for 9 here, Bucky.
Yes.
What was Hulk Hogan's character's name in Rocky 3?
Holy shit. Oh, Rocky 3. Man, I wish I would have watched Rocky 3. I stopped after 1.
Did you?
I stopped after 1, and then I came back for 4.
You skipped 3, man.
Oh man, yeah. I'm gonna. You have to give it to me. I don't remember this at all.
Primo, you want to take a guess at all? Since he's folding on that one.
Is that Thunderlips?
It is Thunderlips.
Thunderlips. Holy
Never
cow.
fear, Thunderlips is here. Meatball. Remember he kept calling Rocky Meatball. I was like, Meatball. All right, we're still doing better than Gage, Bucky. So we still we got faith here, man.
Hey, that one counts for Bucky. That was a celebrity.
We're a team. Me and Primo are a team.
That's right.
Here's my phone a friend.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, here we go. This one's going to be a multiple choice here to finish you out here, Bucky, for go 9 out of 10. Okay. Which one of these wrestlers was not in the 1993 film The Nanny? Which wrestler was not? All right, here we go. A is Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
B is Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Okay.
C is Roddy Piper. D is George the Animal Steel.
Oh, I'm going to say Roddy Piper.
Primo, you want to take a guess?
I would have said Brother Brutai.
The answer is C, Roddy Piper.
Yes. How dare you think Brutus is not on something Hogan's on?
I know.
Yeah, they're always together.
That's why I haven't seen that movie in a very long time.
They live together.
In a very long time. So I thought that Dirty was trying to give me a trick question there, knowing that I know that they're like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Hogan never goes anywhere without Brutus. You kidding me?
No.
But he turned on him at Rage in the Cage, okay?
Bookings and everywhere.
Lovers quarrel.
Yeah. They kissed once they got behind the curtain. All right, so I got a little bonus question here. First of all, congrats, Bucky. You beat Gage. So the new standard is 9 out of 10 going into the next guest. So congratulations, man. Good job.
Oh my gosh. There's another sound clip after you guys send me.
I'm going to have to go way harder if I ever talk to you next time. I have to dig down to some deep questions, but I do have one more for you guys. And Primo, I want you to participate in this one too. There's one last bonus question for you just for fun. And this one I kind of stumbled on while I was looking for these for Bucky. What role did Kevin Nash play in the 1991 film Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Secret of the Ooze?
Are you kidding me? No, Shredder. It's not Shredder. He was Super Shredder.
Super Shredder. Yes.
You're right. You are correct.
You don't put just Kevin Nash in the shredder. He's super shredder.
He is
Super
shredder. Big
He's
Daddy
also
Shredder.
the Russian in Punisher.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The Wizard.
He's the Wizard.
Yeah. Whatever that bad gimmick was. Yeah, Oz. There you go. Yeah, that was what I was trying to think of. I call him the Wizard. That was close. Bucky, that was fun, man. I feel like I threw you a lot of softballs, man. But nonetheless, you beat Gage, so Gage is out of here. You stand on the top of the mountain now for cage match with 9 questions out of 10.
Fantastic.
So, congratulations, buddy.
That's right. Well, thanks to my wonderful coaxing of letting me getting all these right, I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Shows us how wonderful a politician I am.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, Bucky, I tell you what, man, I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend down in our neck of the woods down here in Normal, Illinois for the big show on Friday night, man. Iron Spirit Pro. Appreciate you stopping back by again for the pod. It was good to talk to you last weekend, man, and can't wait to see you this weekend, man. And plug your socials here, man, before you go out, your Twitters and any of that good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Check me out at Bucky for Everyone on Twitter. And
that's 4, like the number 4, right?
That's the number 4. Yeah, at the number 4. That's right. Because I, just like everything else that I come up with, it's you have to explain the name as you're giving it.
Has to be
I'm
difficult.
very smart in that way.
So Bucky for everyone.
Yeah,
like
Bucky the number 4 everyone. Exactly. Yep, yeah, exactly.
You're a marketing specialist. Yeah.
If I hire a marketer, they'll be like, "What are you doing?"
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Bucky number 4 everyone on Twitter. Also check out my podcast out with my 2 other friends.
Yep.
Our Twitter is at reviewpod. Review. First review spelled REVIEW. Second one REVUE. Pod. Yeah, and you'll be able to find all the links for where you need to go from there. But those are pretty much my 2 big things.
All right, Bucky. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the pod, man. Gage, sorry, man, you can suck it. New champ here. So you look at there. You lost the belt this weekend, but you gained like a virtual belt. You know, you're like the cage match.
Everything's digital now. Do you guys have like
champion.
an NFT championship that you can give me?
We do now. There you go. Yours. We just gave it to you.
Perfect.
The little sticker of this trophy that's right behind my head.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So yeah, you can just put all your info into that little trophy and spread it to the world. But Bucky, thanks a lot, man. And we'll see you this Friday night, brother. Appreciate it. Thanks again.
Thanks, Bucky.
Sounds good. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, there's Bucky. That was great to talk to him, man. I was glad to have him back on the pod here, man. Excited to see him this Friday night at Iron Spirit Pro. You heard it right there in Normal, Illinois. Going to be a big card this weekend there. So, man, always fun to talk to Bucky, man.
Yeah,
he
was a great time, man. I'm gonna have to cut him up some of them sound clips so we could use them.
He does. He wants me to wake him be his alarm clock in the morning.
That's right.
Yeah, it was really cool. And also I want to plug, man, we didn't get to talk about it, but, you know, Bucky's got a huge match coming up, man. He's got a big a match against Gary J on April 1st down that show they're going to do at WrestleMania weekend. And then April 23rd, he's going to be in the first ever Zawa Live cage match down in Dixon, Illinois for the fifth year anniversary show of Zawa Live. He's going to be in the first ever cage match against Connor Hopkins, man. So have him back on to talk about that.
That's appropriate too, you know, considering he just became the best cage match winner on our show so far.
Yep, definitely did, man. It was, he definitely rocked out those movie questions, man. I feel like I should have been a little tougher on him, but maybe
there were some softballs in there, but that's all right.
There was, but I wasn't sure, like, you know, exactly how big of a buff we was,
how deep he was, yeah.
Right, but I guess
Turns
we know
out
now.
He's pretty deep.
We do. All right, time to close the show. You might be asking yourself, where can you get the Sit Down Marks podcast? You know, well, not only on YouTube every Wednesday. Usually we get started around 6:30 Eastern time on the Sit Down Marks YouTube channel, but also on audio versions available every Thursday on just about every platform out there. But also the Sit Down Marks is available on SportsWire online radio Fridays at 6:15, right before the
#1
global sports show, the Thomas Bryce Show, and coming soon to the Roku channel on the Northeast Sports Network via SportzWire Radio. And don't forget to give us that 5-star review if you love the pod. Tell your friends, tell your wrestling friends about us. Come and see us if you see us at a show, and check it out, man. We really appreciate it. And also let you guys know, probably asking yourself once again. Well, you're probably asking you a lot of questions.
You talk to yourself a lot. Yeah.
I guess you do. Yeah. So if you are, then you're probably asking yourself, where can I get that Marks merch? Well, right now, they're running a special. I think it's like 35-40% off right now. You can get t-shirts as low as $13 right now on www.tpublic.com/stores/sit-down-marks. That's tpublic.com/stores/sit-down-marks. They're and Primo just dropped some fire new new designs today for t-shirts. So go over and check it out, man. Get yourself some t-shirts. All right, let's get to these weekend picks. AJ is not here, but we're going to still keep an update here. As AJ coming into last week, he was 38-39 overall. Now we're trying to get this man to 500. Well, he was just able barely to do it. AJ went 3-2 over the weekend. So now he has arrived at 41-41. So when he comes back, we're going to shift now where each week I'm going to break down the main event for AJ, and he's going to make a pick each week just on the main event only. So just kind of switch it up. So, all right, let's get to Primo. Primo coming into this week, your lock of the week standing stood at 8-4. You went with your heart. You took Jorge Masvidal. He did not come out with the win.
Never bet with your heart, people.
So he is sitting at 8-5. So next week when AJ comes back, we'll get back on the train here. So, all right, Primo, tell us what's the preview of next week, man. We got a big one next week, dude. Let people know.
That's right. Come in close, Marks. Let Mr. Primo tell you about what we're going to do next week. First of all, I want to say happy birthday to us next week. It's officially our 1-year anniversary. I know it's been season 2 for 2 episodes now, but it'll officially be our 1-year anniversary since good old DB and Primo and shortly afterwards, AJ came in and gave all the marks out there, all the marky goodness. So it's our 1-year anniversary show, and it's going to be a good one. We review the week in wrestling. AJ and DB discuss the weekend at Iron Spirit Pro. We review Punk versus Taker from WrestleMania 29. And our 1-year anniversary, we have a really cool interview lined up for you.
Drum roll, please.
Some say he's the leader of a cult, loves cats, and is one of the biggest names in independent wrestling. He is the St. Louis Anarchy Gateway Heritage Champion, coming off his huge win versus Anthony Henry at St. Louis Anarchy last Friday. Joining us next week is none other than Gary fucking J.
Yeah.
Don't miss it. It's going to be a great interview. Show up next week.
Woo!
We'll be there. We hope to see you too. It's going to be awesome.
Hell yeah, man. We turn 1 year old next week. How about that, man? Huh?
I know, man.
Wow.
We're getting old. Can
are.
we be considered like podcast vets now? We're in there.
I think we're legally married in the podcast world after a year.
Exactly. We're common law married in podcast world.
I think we are. Yep. I think we are. AJ couldn't be with us today. He had some stuff to do, so he'll be back next week, man. Yeah, there's a big one lined up for next week, man. It's going to be fun. That Gary J interview is going to be awesome. Yeah, man, it's a big week of wrestling, man. I mean, shoot, man, I'm still like kind of on a high from Revolution, man.
It was awesome.
Pay-per-view was so
How
good.
does AEW keep topping themselves?
I know. Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. It was great. I want to thank Bucky Collins once again. Get down to this show Friday night, man. Come and say hi. We're going to be there. I'm going to be there working all day. We're setting up the ring, getting everything ready for the show Friday night. Stephen Wolf versus Hartenbauer. Brubaker versus Roosman. Bucky Collins versus Dante Leon. Connolly versus Storm Grayson. man, get to this show, man. The tickets are selling fast. I'm hearing we're getting close to capacity, so it's going to be a big show there Friday night, man. Please come by and hang out and experience a little Iron Spirit Pro action for yourself, man. Come check it out. Primo, anything else you got here for me, brother?
I don't have anything else other than next week. Happy anniversary, sir. I'll see you there.
Sounds good, man. I am so looking forward to it. I'm excited to talk about Iron Spirit Pro next week. So, all right, big episode next week, man. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks again, Bucky Collins. Primo, take us home, brother.
In the great words of our good friend AJ, grab them cakes.